Yo, Kai. Hey, Tam.
Hello.
What's up? What's up?
To Twitch real quick. Tam, you miss a lot.
I see that. When I pulled up Roll20, I was like, oh God, where even are we?
Some shit went down.
Oh Lord.
Literally into the ocean.
Oh God. Yes, this recap is about to be spicy.
I'm gonna mute Twitch because I don't like listening to myself talk. See that. Hi, Zach.
Oh.
Welcome. Whew. Hello, everybody is here, unfortunately. So, let's see. So, for those of you so Tamara, you were the only one who missed last session. So, I just wanted to make it abundantly clear that Scruffy is no longer with us due to a scheduling conflict.
Oh wait, I thought you meant that he died.
Well, Ebony did die, as we will. Yeah. So, well, maybe, I don't know. It depends. It's kind of, yeah. Thank you for the soundboard. So, Drake and I just wanted him to have a clean exit, and that was the most efficient way to just kind of close the door, because he made it abundantly clear to me that his schedule is simply not compatible with a Sunday game right now. So I was just like, let's just shunt him to the side.
Oh no, our only voice reason.
Well, I guess one of you is just going to have to become reasonable now.
Well, it's also made Betch very, very, very much depressed.
He is very sad. If you're looking at the Roll20 map right now, where Honesty right next to Fetch's token, she's kind of been like a shoulder to cry on, as much as a person can cry at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh.
I know. And Roll20 is being fuzzy, so I wonder if it's because I have Twitch on. I'm just going to close it. And get things back in order, and then we'll get started.
Oh, that's a new one.
A child. No. Why is it doing that? Can you guys see? Can you guys see the map clearly?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it's just me.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm having some server issues. 1 minute, if you please.
Time to mute the Twitch.
Yeah, I closed Twitch just to kind of give myself a little bit more bandwidth. And that map is completely gone. Okay, you know what? I'm going to close Roll20.
I am having some issues with Roll20. It's just not loading at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. Oh no, not tech issues. That's the other BBEG for online campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Okay, progress. A little bit. Let me go see if the other maps are working well. Oh my god, what is happening?
I reloaded, so that seems to have helped.
Yeah. Do that too. I'm not running anything. It's not like this is...
If you have Steam up, it might be downloading something.
I don't have. This is a state of Louisiana issued Chromebook. There is nothing on here. Let me try to. Google Drive is working okay. I don't know. I mean, I can see stuff. It's just that the maps are like really pixelated, which is disappointing.
Zoom out, then back in? Or in and out?
Yeah, that's not doing anything. Oh, it's fine. I mean, like, I can still move tokens and stuff. It's just not reading it very well. Let me see what this is doing. Microphone blocked. Okay, good. Keep it. See if there's anything else I can try. No, I've got... Wait. Shit. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. I think that whatever I just had like a bunch of downloads that were pending. Okay. Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. It's working now. Okay. Sorry for the tech issues. I know that we are streaming and I didn't really do an intro last time. If anybody is watching, welcome. Thank you. Please be forgiving and patient with us. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. Get my... So you guys have gone ahead and done a long rest. So while I'm doing the recap, you guys can go ahead and reset yourselves. Honesty, you have 2 spells prepared. Okay, you have Hypnotic Pattern and you have Mind Spike, and that is it. So I'm going to DM you those spells because those are the only spells that you can pretty much use underwater because they're the only Warlock spells that do not have verbal components.
Okay.
And it just so happens that they're actually not bad.
Let me actually pull up the spells.
Yeah. Mind Spike is actually really cool, and Hypnotic Pattern is really cool too. Okay. And that's the game summary. Where's the... Okay. All right. So session 7, titled Death in the Deep. So you are now out of the museum after, an impromptu robbery, and the party scrambled to get away from the Port of Lucine watch to find a place to lay low. While attempting to blend in with the crowd as they moved through Le Quartier Public, they were confronted by a small patrol of watchmen who engaged them on sight. In the scuffle, Honesty killed another guard who attempted to stop her. After Ebony conjured a blanket of fog among the streets, the party managed to slip away. Since it seemed that Fetch knew where he was going, the party followed him all the way to a small seaside plaza. The paladin overran the edge and remained aloft on the surface of the Sea of Sighs, while his fellows remained behind, and the guards, now numbering over a dozen, moved in. It was then that the voice of the stolen idol, heard only by Fetch, compelled the paladin to dive down into the depths, and granted him the power to breathe water, and grant it to his fellows. Running back to his friends, he asked them to jump in and join him at the bottom, and so they did. Beneath the waves, the saviors of Amphail entered an entirely different world of darkness, populated by strange fish, isopods, mollusks, and of course, sharks. The rest of the party no doubt thought the plan was to circle back, hug the shore, and move towards a part of town where their exploits were less widely known. However, Fetch, following a mysterious mote of light seen only by himself, wandered farther out to sea. Worried and afraid for their friend, the rest of the party followed. Though they could breathe the cold water of the Sea of Sighs quite well, they were unable to speak clearly to one another, and so they followed the paladin out of faith alone. The group confronted a forest of red seaweed that stretched as far as the eyes could see. The mysterious light that was leading Fetch laid at the other side, and conveniently enough, there appeared to be a path that cut through the strange plant life. Little did they know that such paths are used by the Sahuagin as game trails to lure unsuspecting prey, though doubtless the shark people anticipated such well-armed prey. Still, this forest proved to be a place of death and defeat for our heroes. Upon entering a clearing, a huge harpoon shark swooped down from above and made off with Ebene, leaving only his bag of holding, streaks of blood behind. It was then that the Sahuagin, led by a mutant freak of their kind, sprung their ambush. Already hurt from their encounter with the City Watch and reeling from the sudden loss of Ebene, the party fought for their lives, for there was nowhere to run. It was a desperate fight against a hungry enemy driven almost to madness by the smell of blood and the water, yet they somehow managed to survive. Now surrounded by a bloody haze, the party pressed on out of the kelp forest as flocks of harpoon sharks began to feed on the corpses that they left behind. Grief weighed heavily upon the group as they trudged on behind Fetch. A great desire to return to the shore and lay low began to bubble up until the silhouette of a sunken ship beckoned them with promises of riches and shelter. The most wounded of the group, Fetch, found a comfortable place to rest with Honesty, while Touchstone and Val explored the ship. Their efforts resulted in collecting a strange dagger crusted over with sea life, though it seemed valuable, an angry moray eel, and a large ballista that seemed to be in some respects operational. A quick survey of the lower deck revealed it to be infested with giant crabs, but that is a problem for tomorrow. Now they rest beneath the tides in the coal black of the Sea of Sighs. So go ahead and take a long rest if you haven't already done so.
Figure out what's up with this dagger. During our long rest, can I take a moment to just kind of look over this dagger that I scooped up?
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check. Or a perception check, excuse me.
Perception. Much better at that one. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? 23.
Uno momento. Okay, so you can see very clearly that even though it's old, it's been here for a very long time. With a 23, you can tell that the edge of the blade is serrated in a very carefully cut out kind of sawtooth pattern. And there are some semi-precious gemstones inlaid in the gold and brass hilt, but the biggest gemstone in the pommel is a flawless black pearl. And it's got almost like a kinjal kind of style to it. The blade has somewhat of a curve.
What sort of shape is the actual like blade and sheath in? Like obviously I'm sure it's probably algae and barnacle covered, but like wear and tear.
It doesn't have a sheath. It's just a naked blade. And whenever you kind of flick away some of the barnacles and stuff, it actually looks pristine.
Nice.
There's one spot kind of on
Magical
the bottom
weapon.
where it was resting on top of the wood of the ship, where you kind of flip it over and you see it's a beautiful Damascus pattern that is completely untouched by the seawater.
Nice.
There's not a speck of rust on it.
That's good to know. So Val doesn't know any better. He's like, ooh, shiny fucking riches. But now Kai's got to make the decision of whether or not I want to do... Oh, what the fuck was that?
Soundboard.
Oh, okay. That scared me for a second. I thought something just like teleported in on top of us or something. What the fuck? This is new. Okay, yeah, cool.
I haven't mastered sound effects just yet.
That was me.
Oh.
You found it exotic.
You spooked me.
And I mean, how intelligent is someone to know that, hey, it's probably magical, but should
That's a
I
good point.
bother?
Like, Val
was
isn't
saying,
super
like-
well versed, but...
I would
The
say,
average
well,
intelligence would know since it's been under the water and it's pristine.
yeah, well, since I gave you only 2 pieces of information, and given your experience as an adventurer, and you rolled a 23 on your perception check, I would say that you are 95% sure that this is a magic item.
Okay. Got it. So we just got to determine whether it's good enough to keep or if I should just hawk this because we all know that I need money. Or I like money, rather.
Or if Val is just going to do the leaf thing and say, screw it, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah,
because that never goes bad.
What does this button do?
I don't have anything attuned. I've only got the one. Oh wait, no, I have the ring attuned. I have a slot. I could just fucking YOLO it.
Now, if it's cursed,
Who are you gonna be able to tell?
No, I feel like Val is too. He's very like he thinks a lot about like self-preservation and like that just seems. I'm sure he wouldn't be foolish enough to just like jump into that.
A very wise thief.
Very wise thief who insists on pushing the buttons of a emotionally disturbed paladin. It's great.
I've only pushed your buttons once or twice. It's mostly just emotional manipulation, okay?
Again. You know, losing what is probably his best friend in a very violent manner underwater where he can't even properly cry.
It's probably a good thing that I can't say anything right now because I would probably say something trying to like lighten the mood or make you like, fucking care less about it and I would just fucking piss you off. So I'm going to just sit here and play with my dagger and let you process for a while.
Yep. Alright, so now that all that's out of the way, and assuming we are in the next morning, Fetch will probably just kind of step outside, maybe climb up the mast of the ship, just,
So one detail that I forgot to mention is that the mast has broken off.
Well, whatever the highest point of the ship would be, just so he can see if he can catch sight of the light again.
Yeah, I would say that. Let me move you to the top deck. I would say that the highest point of the ship is probably, the poop deck right here. It's slightly elevated. There's a bit of a railing that kind of goes from here that kind of tapers upward and starts kind of going back down here. So at the very top of this point right here is probably the tallest point of the ship.
I mean, not that he really needs a tall point since he can literally just swim.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of... What time do you guys wake up at?
Assuming we are several hundred feet underwater.
Yeah, I feel like our sense of time is probably a little fucking warped right now.
Yeah.
It would be some amount of time before the water breathing wears off. Obviously.
It would probably, I would think that it would be. I mean, you guys got a long rest in, so it's about 8 hours. I would say that you guys have about 12 hours of water breathing left. So let's call it. This is actually before dawn. Just given like the time that you guys went to the museum, fucked up the city watch, and then jumped into the ocean and made your way over here. This is like maybe an hour before dawn. Okay. So it is dark. It is very difficult for you to see really anything. Really, the only light that you can, and actually, let's make a perception check.
I mean, that should be. Some of us still have dark.
Everyone?
You can still see.
Yeah, Fetch. Let's make a perception check because he's the one who's looking.
Not a thing.
Damn.
So you can clearly see to the at this point you're facing pretty much like south because everything is reversed. But you can clearly see a pinpoint of light. You can't see it very clearly, but it's almost kind of like a floater in your eye, but it's staying in one place, and it's bright white. You can clearly see it, but you cannot see anything else. It's kind of, you have no sense of how far away it is. It is pitch black.
All right. Well, in the mindset of we either get going or sit here and wallow in misery even longer, Fetch is going to just kind of tap his shield to get everyone's attention to, to get them up on the up where he is, and just like direct everyone in the, point them in the direction of the light in the distance. Now the question is, do other people see anything?
Yeah. So everybody is gathered. I mean, unless anybody is like, nah, I'm going to go look somewhere else. Everybody should be gathered on the back of the ship.
So just for my clarity from last session. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I said, I'm waiting to hear what you have to
yeah,
say.
yeah. We were brought to the ship by the mode of light, yeah? Basically. Like Fetch was following it, and then we like came across this. I just wanted to remember if there was like a specific reason we came here versus just hiding.
For Kai's information, Val knows nothing about the mode of light. He hasn't seen it. Fetch hasn't said anything about it. But Fetch sees the mode of light is somewhere in the distance. It is not. You guys saw the ship and were like, oh, that might be cool to check out.
Got it.
Perfect. Yeah. You do not have to stay here if you do not want to.
Well, I was curious about the lower decks, but it's okay. It's at this point we're following Fetch because I can't communicate anything, so we're just gonna keep rolling with it.
I mean, it's up to you guys.
No.
I mean, we don't have the most time in the world either. Like,
Yeah.
we should start trying to figure out how to get out of here, like ASAP.
I got a fancy dagger. I'm happy. It's all good.
Okay. So you guys
Sure, there's other stuff here, but at the same time, Fetch is very much in a, move or wallow and know that you'll probably just lose yourself and die down here. So he's doing what he has done and just kind of zoning out into the, I know where we need to go, so we're going to go there mode.
Okay.
Which, even in the years that the group has been together, it's only happened once or twice to him, like that he has been this determined to just do something. Because, normally he's an airhead, but at this point, he just lost his best friend. He just stole something under the pretense of, I'm going to return this lost artifact, and he's just kind of confused, and he's not a very smart man, so he's just doing stuff.
We're having an existential moment.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so you guys are leaving the ship behind, correct?
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Okay. Give me 1 second, because I'm the kind of person who makes creative decisions on the fly, and I just thought of something that was cool, so give me 1 second.
Please, God, no more kelp.
Yeah, that stuff was nasty.
But,
But it helps,
when you use your environment to your advantage.
Yep, that's why, that's what makes combat fun. Okay, so I'm going to move you guys back to the main map, because that's just what we do with typical environmental stuff. So let's do theater of the mind. All right, so you one by one kind of leap from the back of the ship after Fetch, and it's much more easygoing where you are now, because the ocean floor is mostly a very thin layer of sand and silt over what feels like solid rock underneath your feet. And as you begin to kind of go deeper and deeper, you feel that you're going on an incline, and it becomes darker and darker. Even though you can kind of see right before you move down, daybreak happens above you, and things kind of lighten up for a little bit. But about almost 2 hours later, you are in this kind of almost a maze of rocky canyons and cave networks. But Fetch, that little mote of light has never left your sight. And, except for whenever you blink on occasion. But eventually, you start to follow it into a cave network that is just inhabited by, it's not the same red seaweed as before, but it is oh wait, hold on, I don't think I have you guys on here. Oh wait, no, I did. You guys can see the visual? Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it's very low, but it's not claustrophobic in any sense. And you can start to hear this very pleasant singing, almost like it's like a mixture of humming, and it's not quite like Ariel with a Little Mermaid, like siren song kind of thing. It's much more resonant. The cave that you are walking through currently is maybe about 30 feet in diameter. It's quite large. And eventually you emerge into a very large cavernous area where the mode of light, and as you're approaching that cavernous area, the mode of light becomes larger and larger and larger. Eventually, what you feel, everyone except for Fetch, is this kind of current that is keeping you from moving forward. As much as you try to fight it, as much as you try to move through it, you cannot follow Fetch where he is going. And Fetch, you do not notice that you are walking alone. Eventually, whenever you kind of come into this dark room, the only light that you can see is emanating from this white shape that is kind of taking on a humanoid form. And you see that as you get closer, it is almost like a mermaid creature, and of pure white hair, pure white skin, white pearlescent scales that are kind of flowing around. And she reaches out a hand to you. What do you do?
Well, given that Fetch is in Terminator mode, he's just gonna reach out because you know what? It's the simplest thing to do right now.
Okay. As you reach out, there's almost like you feel almost like it's a strange sensation. You feel dry, even though you're underwater. And you can actually hear the sound of your breathing at this point. And that kind of low resonant song turns into a humanoid voice. And you hear a very sweet feminine voice kind of come from this creature as it says, "I was wondering when you would turn up. I'm so happy to see you, my liberator. Tell me, why did you decide to follow the light?" And you find yourself capable of speech.
Well, seemed like the only thing that actually, stood out when we dove into the water. I mean, it's the only thing I could really see.
And why did you continue after you had lost a friend? Why not turn back to the safety of the shore?
Well, because if we went back, then I'd probably lose my other friend.
I offer you a choice, young paladin. You have performed a great service to me, and I am not one to leave such great favors unrewarded. I am willing to grant you power if you would forsake your oath and swear it to me, I can give you the power of the open sea. Or I can instill within you the power of the fathomless depth.
So
Or now that your curiosity has been sated, I can safely bring your friends back to shore. Now that I have given you, if my thanks is enough. So, mechanically speaking, I'm sure that you have questions.
yeah,
The choice that she is giving you is that you can swap your class for the oath of your subclass for the oath of the open sea, just free of charge right now. Or you can gain a level in Warlock, specifically the Fathomless Warlock Pact.
let's see.
And I can give you links for both of those, and if you do not already have them.
I've got the open sea, and that's the one that Fetch
Mad
would
Mercenary.
probably consider. Two. The problem is, it seems mostly like a sailor sort of thing, but at the same time, it gives me fucking marine layer, which
Yeah, you know, that. Yeah,
you know
that's,
how I
yeah.
love my fog clouds.
I know how much you love your fog clouds.
And it's an even better fog cloud because it can't be dispersed.
Yep.
What? And then that creator destroyed water is always great. You know, if you'd given me a little bit more time, I'd be able to make a slightly better decision. But at the same time, we don't really have the time in game, so you know. I mean, I want to become a hero, but this doesn't seem like the kind of place I can. And then kind of stretches his shoulders. You know, I can still do it. I could still be. So he kind of remembers back to his childhood when met people who were actually nobles who had a little bit of decorum, and he kind of drops to one knee. Well, lady, what is your name? That I may
You may
dedicate
call
myself to the open seas.
me the Mother of Sighs.
Sighs. Right?
Yes. It is the Sea of Sighs, so she is the Mother of Sighs.
Yes.
You devote yourself to the open sea.
If I can't become a hero on land, heard the stories of those who are out on the shores. I understand that there are many more storms out there, but I am to become a hero. I cannot go on without overcoming things that scare me. So yes, I will devote myself to the open seas. When I get home, I will become a sailor. I will become a legend in your name.
And you, from this day forward, agree that one should be free to chart their own path without oppression, that those who would exert their power to dominate others shall be smoked. You will trust the skies. You will adapt like water, and you will be undaunted by the uncharted.
Already come this far, I might as.
Okay. So she takes hold of you, and she very strongly lifts you up, and you feel her lift you above your feet, off your feet, and she kisses you, and you feel this very cold wave kind of wash over you, and you are now officially a paladin of the open sea. So you're gonna take some time to switch out your character sheet, I would imagine.
Yep.
Yep.
And need to do all that, and probably well, we'll have to figure something out. But I guess getting back to the shore is gonna be fun, since unless she decides to just do it anyway.
She's yeah. So the other three are kind of just like, what are you guys doing at this point? You have no idea what's going on. You cannot see anything except the bright white light in the distance. So, and this current is fighting you. It's keeping you from following Fetch. So how would the three of you react to that?
Does my I mean, I would first try to like push against it. Obviously, I mean, does my ring of free action do anything with that? It doesn't technically. I can't be restrained or paralyzed.
It is the force of the water that is pushing you away. So I don't know. Ring of free
Well,
it's just a
it's-
long shot, I guess.
I don't
If it's
think
magical
it
water.
would.
But if it's the forest, then
it's old magic.
Old magic, yeah. The fucking loophole. There's always the fucking loophole.
If we tried to get through and couldn't, I would say Touchstone would just kind of wait and see if Fetch comes back.
Yeah, honesty is just waiting.
Val will try Old Faithful and wrap a length of rope around a crossbow bolt and try to shoot it through the current.
Okay.
See if he can, because he might, like, I guess his first instinct is like maybe Fetch is trapped, maybe he needs like a lifeline. So it's like, yeah, fuck it, this worked last time. He got trapped in a weird place underwater. Let's see if it works this time.
Okay, what is your armor class?
15.
Okay. You release the bolt, and it flies back and smashes you in the face for 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Ouch. Okay.
All right. So enough of the shenanigans. So, because eventually you feel the current begin to pick up, and you see that Fetch is starting to walk back, but eventually he gets swept off of his feet, and you all are caught up in this ridiculously strong current. And you feel it sweep you with incredible speed all the way from the bottom of the Sea of Sighs to the harbor, or I guess you could say it's a harbor. It's not really a harbor. So you kind of feel and it takes probably like you're moving incredibly fast. So a place that took you roughly 5 hours to walk to, it takes you about an hour to be swept back to the shore. And you feel your feet touch bottom, and you would, if you had to guess, you would be somewhere right here. The shoreline that you find yourself kind of
Sorry, where was that? I didn't get a ping.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
The shoreline that you are trudging up onto now is entirely made of mud. Your feet are sinking directly, and it's like a tide. The tide is low at this point, so you're able to kind of walk through this very deep mud. Val may need some help because everybody is kind of sinking in up to their knee in some spots. But eventually you are trudging back into a beach that is mostly made of old gray sand, garbage, refuse, and you find yourselves in the workers' quarter which is the rougher part of town, soaking wet, freezing cold, and reeking of seawater.
So that's where I put the star, right?
It's more like, oh, in the wrong layer. It's more like right here. You guys are like nearly on the outskirts of town.
Oh.
And you can kind of see from where you are, because you haven't been outside of the city walls except for the Marco Quarter, but you can kind of see to the east a little bit that there are these rolling hills of farmland that are empty. There's no crops that are growing there. And they go on for as far as the eye can see. You can see farmhouses out there. You can see, hills and silos for grain and windmills and stuff like that. But you don't see any people working out there.
Can I just say, as we made our way onto shore, Val made a point to discard his mask from earlier. Oh, shit.
There we go. So, and it not far from, so Val discarded his mask. So the area that you are currently occupying, not far from the beach, is a very rundown part of the city. The cobblestones, if there are cobblestones, are broken, half buried in mud. There's massive potholes that are just filled with seawater and rainwater. The buildings are made entirely of wood. You kind of saw some weird upkept parts of town where it looks like things are a little bit more worn down than they actually are. Here, that gilding has entirely worn off. The people who live here, they are wearing, very simple garb, but they are trying to keep up appearances as good as well as they can. They're wearing masks that look very, very homemade. They're wearing cuts of very kind of like frock coats and gowns that are stained with mud, that are made from cheap materials that look like they are kind of Frankenstein all together. And even though this is a poor part of town, you still see people who are bothering with wigs, the makeup, even though it is horrendously bad. And if you're wondering about how it smells, it's like a garbage dump.
Of course it is.
Well, that's not so different from the rest of the city, I suppose.
Yeah.
This might not be a bad place for us to have washed up, honestly. We can get something that looks a little bit more innocuous than the fancy clothes we were wearing previously. I'm gonna look for a new mask and maybe a hat.
A new mask and a hat?
Something to make me a little less conspicuous.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Investigation.
Okay.
15.
What you do not find anywhere around here is a shop.
Okay. Anything... I don't know, maybe pilfering distance?
Okay. I mean, you can definitely see hats and masks all over the place. You may have to actually nick one from somebody. So I would say that with an investigation of 15, you would be able to see that there is a cart that looks like a family of three, a man, a woman, and a small child. They are loading their possessions up with the help of a paid laborer. And there is a chest of drawers that is located there.
Okay. Can I try to... I'm gonna make a stealth check and try to get close?
Sure.
And maybe look for a child-sized hat and mask?
Okay. So stealth check. Okay. So stealth with a 20, very easily you get up to it. Make a sleight of hand check to see if we can find something quickly. Eesh.
Okay, I'm hiding. I'm pretty well hidden.
Okay. You can't find something quickly, but this is going to allow the commoner to make a perception check to spot you, and there with a 20, there is a non-zero chance that he will spot you. Nope. Natural 1. So whatever is going on with his business, he is too busy trying to, get his business in order. So you managed to pilfer a small child's hat and a mask.
It's like I do this every day. And I kind of crack my knuckles a little bit and hop out.
Yeah. The hat looks like it's been stitched back together several times. The leather it smells kind of funky, like it's mildewy a little bit. There is some semblance of a feather that was left in it as kind of like a little panache that was in there, but it is rotted away. There's only like a little stub that's left. And the mask itself is clean, but it is made of a very rough kind of burlap material that's been painted over to make it look like a black cotton or silk material from a distance.
Jeez. Okay. Let me mark that down. I will saunter on back to the group and hold out the hat to Touchstone. Oi, could you do your little smelly thing with this?
Oh, wait, I can't do that because I don't know.
Oh, one of you guys. I kind of
That-
hold the
I've
hat
been there.
around.
That was Ebony who had prestidigitation. Dang, that's dark.
Damn.
Yeah, fucking Val will just kind of do that. He'll kind of move the hat around like anybody, and then he'll sort of realize at the last moment and kind of all right. He'll just sit the hat back on. Well, in any case, I would recommend you all try to look into getting a new look for yourselves here sooner rather than later. Who knows how quick word spreads around these parts. Remember, we might have had a rough day, but, these guys are still not super happy with us.
Actually, as you kind of look around, you notice back where you were originally, there were guards pretty much on every street corner. You've probably been here for probably 20 minutes at this point, and you have yet to see a single watchman.
Well, we're out of the sea. We had our couple of destinations beforehand. We checked out the museum, at least.
Boy, didn't.
If I
Wasn't
remember
the House
correctly.
of Wax? The House of Wax is around here, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. It's somewhere in this part of town. I don't know where exactly, but I think it's closer to the center. But it's here. It's around here.
Oh yeah, we were just trying to be tourists, right? That's what we were doing when all that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. Oh well. Which I
We're
want
just
to
trying
do.
to fit in and get information on this weird ass place, and it sort of went downhill quickly. Though I guess we did learn that going forward, these guards are very bloodthirsty. So maybe if something happens that isn't going our way, we get out quicker rather than later. For now, though, I say screw it. Let's go for the House of Wax. Let's see if maybe there's
That's
something or
right.
someone there
Well,
that can lend
at
us a
this
hand.
point,
We still need to make
Valeria-
our way towards the north side of the city, though. I'm still very curious about this. Notes. This notes. Where the fuck is it? This Nicola Decor fella. Or wait, no, that's the book. Flips through the book. Where is it? De Flam, Erasmus de Flam. He should be at some university around here. Can maybe tell us more about this alchemical formula we've been trying to deduce. You guys remember that?
Hmm?
Oh, yes. Yes.
that is right.
The one that may help us leave, right?
Yes, get the hell out of this weird
We
twisted
we do
fucking
need
wasteland.
to do that.
I want to go home.
I'm tired of wearing attire that smells like death and feces.
Well, if we're going back into the city, let me get us some disguises together. And I just break out my disguise kit, start rummaging around, holding things up to see if they look like they fit everyone.
I think the biggest thing that we're going to have to hide is Fetch's lantern jaw.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah, I mean, I have a mask or two in here, but I don't
I'm
know what we can
imagining
do
more
about that.
just a big scarf.
A scarf, yes.
there we go.
There we go.
Valerius,
Just
I have
not
a
wrap it right around you so that
I have a
only
que-
your eyes are out.
I have a question for Valerius.
Yo.
How much money do you have in your pouch?
How much is known, or how much do I have?
How much do you have in the pouch that is on your hip right now?
In the pouch on my hip, 19 gold.
19 gold.
19
Okay.
gold pieces, yes.
Okay. What is your passive perception?
You motherfucker. It is 14.
14. Okay. Whenever Honesty mentions shopping, you kind of instinctively reach down to touch your pouch, and it is missing.
Look around. Any fleeing fucking children? Anything out of the ordinary? Anybody scampering? Anybody ducking in alleys? What do we got?
Okay, you can make
Active. I went from passive to active perception.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
You can make a perception check to see anybody who is acting suspicious. And if you alert anybody to what is happening, your fellows can make perception checks as well.
This is knee jerk right here. This is like as soon as my hand touches my belt and notices it's not there, I immediately eagle eye. I don't say anything. It's immediate. Like I say, I don't know how long ago it happened, right? But that's just how Val's mind would work. He's like, shit.
Yeah. There's
he
quite a few people. I mean, this is a busy part of town. There's a lot of people who live here. It's pretty much a slum, so there's a lot of people who are kind of packed on top of each other. So a lot of people live in this tiny part of town. Anyway, perception check. S'il vous plaît.
22.
That's persuasion.
Oh fuck. Well, hold on. That's
Different
plus
skill.
6. What is this? 16 plus. What is my modifier on?
If your modifier is a +6, I'll take it.
It's plus. What is mine?
Your persuasion is a +6. I need
No.
perception.
It's plus 4 perception.
Okay, so nope. You don't see anybody who's running. Whoever took it from you is a smooth operator.
Well, friends, hide your coin purses. Mine just got nicked.
Just gonna.
If you see any
my armor.
anybody scampering around.
Well,
Hey, well.
I guess at that point, Fetch would check and see if his pouch is there.
Yours is still there.
Okay. that's the case, he's gonna just take it from his belt and move it up, someplace a little bit more secure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
easy come, easy go, as they say. I guess I'll have to take it out on the civilians of this fine establishment, or, well, city. What goes around
Jeez.
comes around, right?
Okay. Let me make a note that you guys completed the side mission, the Sea of Sighs. Completed. Fetch. Took. Oath of Open Sea.
Now, create or destroy water. And let's see, create or destroy water, augury, misty step, and expeditious retreat instead of enhance ability, whatever the other spells were. I have replaced them all
Okay.
as appropriate.
Do you feel like you can move forward with that? Like with your character sheet as is?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Because I kind of wanted to slow some things down, except you guys didn't catch the pickpocket who made off with Val's stuff. All right. So
That's all
what
he
do you guys
got, right? That's all I'm missing is a coin purse.
Just that, that little pouch that had 19 gold in it is
Nice.
missing.
Okay.
But the money is not the problem. It's the pride.
Yeah, exactly. Val is upset that he got, but it's all good at the end of the day because I have like damn near 1,000 in fucking pilfered platinum.
No, you're kind of actually a little embarrassed. Actually, you don't have any idea how your teammates feel about this, but that's something that you're going to not let go. If you find the person who took that from you, you will probably inflict violence upon them.
Oh yeah. At least take a finger. At least take a finger or two.
Yeah, that's what will make it right. Okay. All right. So what do you guys want to do now?
Well, we still have to find disguises, don't we?
Yeah, I know. Me, honestly, and Fetch still need to.
And if we can't buy them, I mean, we could resort to robbery.
Yeah.
We've done it before.
And, well, Fetch is just going to keep an eye out for anything that looks like a halfway decent scarf.
Okay.
Right?
I mean, there's a lot of junk in this part of town. It's like all over the place. You can see that the streets themselves are kept mostly clear, but in the spaces between the houses, you can see that there are people who are picking through the garbage, salvaging pretty much anything and everything that they can find, from clothes to tools, even kind of disgustingly food. Like you see a very thin looking woman who finds what looks like it's an apple that's turned to mush in her hand.
Oh.
And she very happily, it seems, just shovels it into her mouth.
There's something that just doesn't quite bother Fetch as much as this might have, maybe yesterday. Seems he hasn't told anyone what's happened, but there's a distinct shift in his movement. Instead of the Greek god, head up, shoulders back that you would expect, he's still got, good posture, but it's more of a relaxed, looking like he might actually be a little unsteady on the ground, but more like a sailor,
You got land sickness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's been on land for a few weeks, but he's still walking like, like the ship might kind of just lurch under him at any moment.
Yeah.
It is very, very different from the way he has walked up to this point, but
Okay.
he's not really going to say anything.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of evident, and everybody kind of sees that Fetch is acting pretty strange. And you guys are now in the position where you can actually speak to each other.
Well,
To say anything, or is
maybe we should put together a little service and build Ebony a grave once we get this sorted.
I think that's a great idea.
maybe we can do something? Yeah.
I'll have a prayer ready.
Maybe when we get back to the garden. Or wait, was it the garden? No, it's not.
It was the Palace of Ethers Park.
Yeah.
I think. Hold on.
No, the hotel we're staying.
Yeah. The hotel is overlooking a park that's known as Guignol's Garden.
Yeah. Maybe when we get back there. I'm not too certain that here is the best place for that.
Good point.
Yeah, something feels a little weird about leaving a memorial in a place like this for us, or one of you guys rather. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It just feels a little, I don't know, twisted in a way.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I don't know.
Ebony
Maybe
deserves better than this.
maybe we just hold on to what we got for now, and then like when we get back to the prime material after all this is over and we're sharing a cold beer, and we're distributing our wealth, we'll buy a new bag of holding, and then we'll, I don't know, put this bag of holding into like a memorial thing for him or something. I don't know. That sounds wholesome, right?
Maybe. And is it easy enough to find a scrap of cloth that looks, even if it's disgusting and dirty and filthy?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can easily find that.
So Fetch in the intermediate would probably try and find an empty, maybe barrel or bucket, that's not too dirty, or maybe one that already has some water in it. Just something that he could turn into a wash tub.
Okay.
Which I'm sure that would be available somewhere, like a rainwater barrel or something. Right?
Looking around, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of like cisterns that are around the place.
I'm sure the water in there is pretty filthy, but being a little bit less constrained, he's going to, find one of those, tip out all the water that's in it, and then use a spell slot cast, create water, so he has some nice, clean, fresh water to wash this scrap of cloth in and get most of the smells out.
Okay, to do his laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, easy enough. It works very well.
Ba-boop.
Ba-boop. Alrighty. So, I think someone said that they are interested in kind of like, looking for some disguises on the fly.
Yeah.
The kind of looking around, there are no shops in this part of town. It doesn't look like anybody is selling anything here. It doesn't. If you had to guess, there's not really an economy here at all. No one is providing services. No one is really doing anything except scavenging, and that's if they're doing something at all. Most people look like they're on their way to somewhere else, and they seem very excited about where they're going. Like, you see couples who are walking arm in arm. You see and laughing as they go, and parents with children who are kind of walking down the broken cobblestone boulevards in filthy clothes, and just everybody looks like they're going somewhere, but you can't really see what or where they're going to in this part of town.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, right? Like, we're kind of like down here ish.
Yeah.
Where does it look like you say there's a lot of hustle and bustle, right? People going to and from. Do they look like they're just kind of going in between like places? Are they like, or does it seem like they're beelining like into the city, out of the city? Like, what?
Make a perception check. Let's see what you see. Or
'Cause,
actually, if you can make a perception check or an insight check.
Insight seems a little bit more
Yeah,
appropriate for that.
I think insight is probably the better one.
Better at perception, but you're right. So insight.
Insight with a 13. Okay, that's not bad.
Maybe Fetch will help you out
Yeah,
a little
give
bit with
him
his. So
with
take
his
that
new
advantage.
with his new ability. Yeah.
No, it's
Oh, you
just
Extra one. I'll take it.
Hey, extra one. You know what? With the 14, I like to do mine in evens instead of multiples of 5. So that bumps you up to one piece of useful information. You kind of, in walking around, you decide to follow this one particular these two men who are kind of like walking together and like chatting very quickly about the show, and they don't talk about really what the show is about or what even the title of it is. And you watch as they, like, let's say that let me move the token out. You guys you see this like weird little dot right here, this block of buildings. You watch them walk around it at least twice. And it looks like they're going for a third round not long after you kind of realize that they're essentially putting on a show. Like, they are, and with that the one piece of information that I will give you with that role is that they are pretending to go somewhere.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's okay, yeah. And I mean that's consistent with a lot of like what we've seen people doing so far, with the exception of a couple of people, which is weird. And it seems like a couple of people are like actually like driven and doing something like conscious, and then there's the masses that are just kind of fucking there, like they doing circles and talking about nonsense. Huh. Okay. Val will get back to the group like, this place is a fever dream. It's like nobody here is actually real.
It's like Disney World from hell.
I swear I was curious about this group of men, and they just walked around a set of buildings like 4 times and had the same conversation over and over, just talking about this weird show. Like it was like they were trapped in a loop.
Did they know you were following them?
It didn't look like it. They were pretty self-absorbed. Like everybody here, like nobody ever really pays any mind unless we mess with something or ask them a question. Otherwise, like, look, and I'll just kind of point out a random person. What are they doing? Just random person walking down the street.
Random person. So you see this woman who she's a street artist. That's what she looks like she's doing.
Put him on the spot with the improv.
She has a canvas that is turned away from everything. She's kind of sitting in like an alcove that is near the street, and she looks like, from your point of view, that she is painting the scene. Make a perception check. Somebody highest will spot the detail.
Okay.
Honesty, you immediately clock that woman doesn't have any paint. She doesn't have what's that thing called? A palette. She doesn't have a palette. She doesn't have any paint anywhere. She doesn't have any water. She doesn't even have any charcoal. She just looks like she has a stool, an easel, a canvas, and a paintbrush.
And there's something on the canvas?
Not from the angle that you can see. No. It's like the back of the canvas on the easel is facing you. And it looks like, with a perception check of 19, this is your second piece of information. She has it set up to where only she can see the front of the canvas.
Okay.
I remember that, weird fairy thing telling us that it was all about appearances here, right? But this is like it's unsettling the amount of appearance these people put up. Like, what are they making appearances for?
Curious. How close would you say we are to the lady painting?
She's across the street from you.
Oh, remember, don't piss them off.
I won't.
Maybe like 15, 20 feet.
Well, okay. She won't see me if she's doing whatever. I'm just curious what's gonna happen. I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy and have it sound like ominous whispers right behind, just to see what happens.
You fucking torture.
So ominous whispers immediately behind her.
Yep.
Okay. So she's kind of doing her thing. She's keeping up the facade of painting without paint. And as you know that the whispers kick in, she kind of immediately turns around quickly behind her. And once she gets over the shock of it, how long do the whispers persist? 1 minute?
Yep.
Okay. So she kind of for a few moments just kind of looks around, and you can kind of see from your position, with very wide eyes, she is just very slowly and deliberately going back to her work. But she has a handkerchief in her free hand, and she is just clutching it very tightly, along with her dress at her knee. She is just holding on for dear life, and you can tell that she's muttering something under her breath. But she is scared out of her mind, but she is keeping up the facade. You sadist.
What in the world?
Oh my god.
Val kind of chuckles. I never took you as much of a prankster.
Some of us like to play tricks in the dark. But she didn't leave. She just immediately went back to doing her thing. You don't think that's strange?
Yes, I do think that. I think everything about this place is strange. I don't know what to make of it.
I told y'all something is not right about this place.
I can deal with strange people and things, but
focus on getting out of here.
No, I'm curious. Is there a door near us?
I mean, there are several doors that are near you. You are on a street that is that is lined with buildings.
I'm gonna pick one that just kind of near us. Thaumaturgy one more time just to slam it shut, just to see if anybody reacts. Cause I want to just confirm something. It could just be any random door. One that's not
into a poltergeist.
So here's so I'm gonna help you out as the DM.
Okay.
You're in a city where someone slamming a door is not that big of a deal. But if you use thaumaturgy to simultaneously fly all the doors on the street open.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Okay, yeah. That might get some attention. So is that what you would like to do?
Yeah, I'll do that.
You want to cause a distraction. You want to disrupt the rhythm of the performance, so to speak.
I meant multiple doors, yeah.
Okay. So you do so, and you kind of do this kind of Evil Dead thing where all of the shutters of the doors kind of fly open and slam very loudly for a solid minute. And after about 30 seconds goes by, that's whenever people start to realize, what the fuck is happening? What? This is some creepy shit. And for a second, a lot of people kind of stop and don't know what to do because they are legitimately spooked. But after they kind of realize that nothing crazy is happening, they're not in danger, they resume their walks. They go back to their scripts. They kind of go back, especially after the minute is up and the little show is over. Once people realize that nothing is of a danger to them, they go back to their little facades.
During this whole thing, Fetch has just kind of been watching, and then he decides to the stupid thing / smart thing, depends on how this goes. But he walks up to the artist, full of confidence, just kind of peeks around the corner, smiles at her, and gives a little golf clap, praising her work, making a show of it for everyone else in the streets.
She kind of very instinctually, she says, please, monsieur, it is not finished yet. Do not look.
Well, I mean, it's still... The entire point is just to, just give the impression that, oh, you're doing an excellent job. And then walk away.
So you do like a little golf clap, you said?
Yeah.
So she kind of... a lot of people kind of stop and they look over in your direction and they see what you're doing, and then they immediately just all start doing the same thing. And she actually kind of reluctantly at first stands and does like a curtsy. She says, thank you, thank you, thank you. But you can kind of tell that her voice is a little shaky. And then she goes back and you hear her say a little mantra to herself. She says, certain graceful fragrant, certain graceful fragrant, certain graceful fragrant. And that is just like her kind of calming herself down and getting back into the rhythm of her and to her show, whatever it is that she's putting on.
Okay.
I think we don't need to disrupt anyone else. Alright, guys?
Yeah, that was a fun little experiment, but something... one thing I've sort of learned from this is that I don't think we will get very far by bothering, I guess, or even questioning a lot of these normal sort of citizens.
That's why I did the
It's like everybody is sort of stuck in a rhythm in a way, but nobody is.
They can't break whatever act of programming who's ever told them to do. Something bad happens.
So the only things that sort of stand out to me, like obviously there's the guards are a little bit touchy, and then there's a couple of places of like high learning up in the northern district. There's like universities and things, and then there's this whole night of terrors with the wolves and the werewolves and whatnot. I feel like these are the only things that we can potentially dive into that might help us figure out something beyond the surface. We realize sort of how this works now, but do we care really all that much about why, or do we just want to get the hell out of here? I was curious at first,
get the hell out of here.
Well,
I'm ready to go.
Where are we going to go? We can't really. We still need disguises.
Y'all still need disguises. And then I just cast disguise self on myself. I'm ready.
So I kind of did this last time. What does your Mask of Many Faces manifest as? Like, how do you make yourself see?
At first, I imagined that I would construct it around like the people or whatever humanoid people these are walking around, so that I look like one of them.
Okay.
So just any random person on the street.
Like a fast breed.
Yeah. So like you're a fashionable person. You know how to dress yourself very well. So I'll give you just like I'll let you kind of come up with a description, but I'll give you this is very much like pre-revolutionary France with Renaissance Venice during Carnival. It's kind of the vibe that we're going with here. So I would imagine that would you be like in the full gown with a mask with your hair done up with makeup and stuff like that, or would it be something a little bit more subdued?
I would say like medium glam. Like I don't look like
Okay.
the people
Medium
around us
glam.
right now, but I also don't look like the super duper fancy people. I'm like
Gotcha.
blendable.
Okay. Just a little bit of wear and tear.
Yes.
A patina of grime to give it some texture.
Precisely.
Fetch has decided to disguise himself from basically the lip down by covering himself with the improvised scarf that he washed up. So his lantern jaw of justice is not quite as
Let's have
evident.
a look.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
role
it's
play.
not that hard for you guys to find stuff. I mean, there's certainly no want for garbage in this place. And discarded clothes that have like lived out their usefulness. Or someone may not have found them, or someone at least with the skills, without the skills that are needed to make them wearable. So you can find stuff to disguise yourselves, but you are going to look and smell kind of repulsive, except for Honesty, because she can just make herself look like whatever.
Don't we smell like gross seawater though? So we should.
Yeah, you kind of do. You kind of
Yeah,
do. I mean,
yeah.
you smell like
Already
low. You smell. Yeah, you smell like low tide. Little fishy.
Well, that should help with the blending, no?
Yeah.
True.
To be fair, the whole place smells like low tide, so no one really notices. So I'll just kind of hand wave a little bit. So well, actually no. Let's talk about Touchstone. How are you disguising yourself?
I'll ditch my mask.
Okay.
Would I be able to find, I don't know, like a duster coat maybe in this place?
That's specific. So let's do a perception check or an investigation check.
I'll do perception.
Okay.
And just made the moonlight illuminate my path.
Please, God, help me.
You gotta find the one person in town wearing a duster, walk up to him and say, "This entire town ain't big enough for both of us."
And you just kill him for his coat.
Ooh.
You are the Terminator.
Actually, I know what to do then. Huh, okay. Alright, I'm gonna roll. Ooh, does anybody want to help me do this?
It's just a coat, dude. Really, what we're rolling for is the state that it's in. Okay. So you find a very lucky find.
Classic
Actually, you
shopping
find
episode.
with that roll of 21, you find a mostly intact duster jacket. Kind of like it resembles a gray Victorian era gentleman's coat that kind of goes down to the back of the calves. It has a flared out collar, and despite some missing cufflinks on the left arm, it is mostly intact. Collar. It is slightly threadbare. It's seen some use. It's fairly old. Some of the seams are kind of coming undone in some places, but it doesn't look too bad.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and take it.
Okay. And it's a little bit big on you, so it does kind of cover your armor pretty easily. Okay. You would have to take off I think you have some vestments on, some that are black, but you would have to take those off in order for it to fit comfortably.
Okay.
Val, how are you disguising yourself?
I already did.
Oh, that's right. You stole the stuff. Okay.
Step ahead of you.
Yep. All right. So you guys are now pretty effectively disguised. You have no idea what kind of description the guards are going with, if they even have one. It's too early for you guys to see. It's a matter of hours. You don't see wanted posters anywhere, but then again, you also don't see any guards anywhere. So, which is
actually, yeah. Is there a paper? I don't know if they deliver papers to this district.
Not that you can see.
Okay.
So you're all disguised. What would you like to do now?
Do we want to go to the museum still? Or
well, so it really see that boils down to what what exactly are we trying to accomplish here? So, if we expect that we're going to be stuck in this place for weeks, months, what have you, then it could be good to, visit some of these places. Maybe not get possessed this time, and learn a little bit about the you know, place we're going to be. However, part of me feels like we're not going to get a genuine look at what this place is by going to museums. I don't think they're going to.
Why don't we go and see those hunters? They did need help. And we need some coin.
Yeah, if we want to get out of here, our best bet is to visit these hunters and see whatever this underside of this society is like, or go to the university and ask this Erasmus fellow what he knows. So those are our two sort of best options to break out of whatever this weird loop is, if I had to guess. Otherwise, we're just going to play in this loop for a while, which, that could be fun, but we might die, or more of us might die.
Yeah, honesty has definitely had enough. So I'm gonna go with the university. I don't want to become known as the museum bandits. We don't need to go through that again. And I would prefer to focus on figuring a way out of here. Damn the coin. Damn these hunters. We need to get out of here.
I mean, and Fetch kind of looks around. I kind of want to help these people out. They seem like they're scared of something that's keeping them here doing this.
I do too, but I don't. This seems a little more involved.
I mean, I agree that there's something off here, and it does seem like these people are human, I guess, in a way.
Yes, those resources to really contend with right now.
Is it our responsibility to solve it, though?
No.
Like, they could just. We had a different life before this, and I would like to return to that.
And with that, Fetch kind of looks like something is slotting into place in his head because it's very hard for him to disguise his thought process. So I guess I can help people help me. So get back to. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay. So he just kind of nods and, in affirmation, yeah, I'll help you guys. Get you back home.
Remember what that fairy said? He basically called this place one of the many bubbles in a giant shit froth. At least that's sort of how I heard it. It's like, if this place is what it is, and like, yeah, maybe these people are the victims of some weird multi-dimensional torture shit. I don't know. I mean, they don't seem too tortured. They just seem a little freaked out, but they all play the part. So, my thought is, if this is really just one pocket thing, then maybe there are like millions of these, and how are you supposed to help all of them?
Well, I can help who I can help, and I can help you guys because I know what you guys want. You want to get home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe, maybe once we get back home, we can pop all the shit bubbles.
That is actually a really great way to put it. Bubbles and a bunch of shit froth. I'd have never heard that word before.
I forget what it was. Like our first session. You just I was calling the place shit, and then the fairy said something about it being like, imagine one bubble in like a giant froth or something, and I was like, oh no, we're stuck in the shit froth.
Oh,
The
God.
Santorum. Anyway.
Oh,
Oh.
oh! If they're disadvantage on your next roll.
Come on.
Accurate.
I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that to you. But
Man.
there's a line, sir.
Oh yeah. So saying shit froth
Yeah.
is fine.
You know what? That's true. That's basically the same thing. So you know what? I take it back.
Yeah. Anyway, so just out of character clarification, our next goal is to do
Go
what?
see the hunters, get some work.
I thought we were
University. Erasmus.
yeah.
Deflam. Erasmus Deflam, and then we're gonna see what he knows about. Like I say, we don't even know that we're gonna get like crazy information out of this. It's literally just the only lead that we have on the alchemical formula for the door that we need to get through to get back to the prime material.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
Because
fair.
remember, we
Alright.
found that I overpaid for that book, and then it seemed like it was shit, but then it actually had some useful details in it.
Okay. Maybe we'll learn about it, flip a card, and looking for us too along the way. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do it.
I can't imagine that this guy is just gonna give us everything that we need. Like, this is out of character, right? I can't imagine that this guy is just gonna give us everything that we need immediately. But like, this is our best lead to like get the like, if we're talking completely OC up here. The university is where we want to go to, like, in my opinion, progress like the storyline of opening the door and getting the fuck out of here. Whereas like the wolf hunter people would be us like sort of going a little bit deeper into the lore of this place and figuring out like why, about the attacks and shit that's happening every night. So really it's up to you, like, what everybody wants to do. But Val is of the mind of like, I kind of want to get the fuck out of here. This is my best lead. Sounds like Honesty's in the same boat. Fetch is
Absolutely.
kind of like up in the air, like fuck it, whatever everybody wants. So what is like Touchstone's motivation in all this? Like, what does Touchstone want to do?
I mean, I want to get out of here too, but I know we need money. But if it's just a quick stop to figure out what's going on, I guess we'll be okay.
All right, cool. So then, yeah, it sounds like our next destination is going to be the University of Dimitlu. Is you pronounce that? So we have a long journey, I guess, at that point, because we're still down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long journey either through the bay or through the city.
I hope you all picked fake names too.
Oh, we
I've
do need
never-
different names, don't we?
Have you guys given anyone your names?
No.
Oh wait, I know
Fetch
Fetch
did.
has. I know
Fetch
Fetch
did.
has.
Yeah, I think we're good. Fetch
Did we give
is.
the hotel our names?
No, I
Fetch
just
is the
said
only
that we were.
Fetch is the only one who's, I think, introduced himself to anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, when I talk to the lady at the hotel, I basically just use haughty titles like my lord and my liege, and you shall not insult me and my lord this way. I didn't actually give any names.
Mhm.
I think Fetch's brain is very simple. So he thinks for a second. Retrieve du Drac. Yeah. Retrieve du Drake. It's literally retrieve the Drake.
Okay.
Instead of fetch the mallard, retrieve the Drake.
Jesus.
For real? Oh my goodness. Well, okay.
I mean, look, he's a simple guy. He
All
can't
right.
think. But he also doesn't think that a lot of people would understand that it's literally just get the duck. Like that was how he grew up. That was how he just knew how to respond to that phrase.
Oh
As he was
goodness,
growing
that is so dark. Um, well, are we ready?
Yeah.
Is Fetch's life like basically that Jet Li movie where he's like in a dog collar, and whenever they take the dog collar off, he beats everybody to death? Is that what he was doing?
I don't think I've ever seen that Jet Li movie.
It's what is it called? Oh my god, hold on.
No.
We're pausing this game. Jet Li dog collar.
No,
It's called it's called Unleashed. Oh no.
Unleashed. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, dude.
No,
My
Unleashed
goodness.
The fucking early
2005.
2000s were a fucking different time, man.
Bart, a vicious loan
I
shark
miss those
residing
kung
in
fu
Glasgow, uses his bodyguard Danny to violently attack non-complying customers. Bart has raised and trained Danny to be an attack dog and uses a metal collar around Danny's neck to control him. Once the collar is off, Danny becomes a skilled fighter who relentlessly attacks his target. Once on, however, the collar turns Danny docile and harmless, with him developing very little knowledge on how to act as a socialized person. Well then.
Yeah, no, the entire he grew up as, and this is the entire thing that started he's a water dog. No, he grew up as he was less expensive than a golden retriever.
Dang.
Oh,
Jesus.
poor thing.
Lovely. It was
Yeah.
dark before we even got to Ravenloft, guys.
Like,
Okay.
Well,
Well, anyway, before we
off we
scar
go, right?
ourselves emotionally, how are you guys getting to the University of Demont-Liu?
De Montlieu. Okay, I gotta remember that.
I think it's Demont-Liu or Demont-Lieu. Because it's the
I was
same...
thinking De Montlieu, but
I think
I
it's
don't know
Demont-Lieu.
Lieu.
I think it's Demont-Lieu.
yeah.
I'm not very good at French, unfortunately.
Me either. That's why I was just gonna take your pronunciation and roll with it. 'Cause you're probably better than me, dog.
I think it's
All right.
Demont-Lieu. Yeah.
I mean, well, I can be stealthy. I can't really help you all be stealthy.
Well, you can. That doesn't mean you will be.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of like thinking. I started thinking out loud and then tried to transition it in character.
Because whenever you get to, let's say that you kind of follow the crowd, you go down the street of strangers, because it looks like it leads into the city. You see that there is a gate that is here, and it is heavily guarded. There are at least 8 watchmen who are covering it at all times. You see, within, like, whenever you first arrive, they do like a little bit of a shift change. 4 relieve 4. And they kind of like maintain a cadre of 8 watchmen at all times. And just like whenever you guys were walking past the entrance into the Quartier Savant, you do see someone who attempts to make their way over there without any set business. And the guard, you kind of see this gentleman who is obviously a street beggar. Or someone who lives on the streets. The outfit that he's wearing is completely filthy, but it looks like that maybe 20 years ago it was the height of fashion somewhere. And he kind of goes up to them, and they deny him entry. And he's like, "Do you know who I am? I am Count Toulouse-Lautrec, and I will not be denied entrance into my city." And they promptly take the stock of a musket, they hit him in the stomach, and they arrest him and take him away into a guardhouse that is within the wall. It doesn't look like very many people from this part of the city are trying to get in through the gate, which, by the way, is closed. It's like a heavy portcullis that is just... doesn't look like it's moved in a long time.
Well, we do still have that notice from the hotel, right? Because that's whenever they told us about the House of Wax, didn't we like talk about this and get something that would like make us be able to go in and out of the gate?
I think we had something at it.
I feel like I remember this being a conversation previously. Because we wanted to come to the House of Wax, and we were like, that's going to be a problem because we saw how people were getting treated at the gate. And then somebody at the hotel said something about like if we have like our, I don't know, some sort of piece of paper or parchment or something. But I don't remember.
Yeah, if you have the paperwork, if you have like the guest sign in, and if you had the wherewithal to put it into your bag of holding, which I'm sure you did, then you should be able to use that as a way to help persuade the guards to open the gate.
But that assumes that we would all be comfortable walking up to the gate with our new disguises and trying to do it that way, or if you guys just want to play it extra safe and try to look for a way over or around.
I mean, we could always go through the bay.
If they see us rise out of the water, don't you think they'd get suspicious?
We could go under.
So who again? They look like people now. They look like us now.
And how many guards is it?
8.
8. I don't know. I kind of just want to walk up to them with the notice and just be like, let me in.
You do have the ability to change the way that you look and make yourself look like you are very, very high class compared to the people around you.
This is true.
You have the tools necessary to make this work, I will say, but there is a chance of failure because they may, I don't know, they may see through the disguise. They may not be persuaded by your argument. They may assume that you stole the clothes that you're wearing and got them from somebody else. These are just, or they may take you and or they may be convinced. You know, it's totally up to the roll of the dice and the choices you make. But
yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a go.
Okay. So what do you do? Walk me through what honesty does.
So yes, I guess I'll just start by primping myself, making myself look a little bit fancier.
Okay.
Making myself look like I belong behind the scenes.
Okay.
And I guess who has the whatever notice it is that we need?
Whoever has the bag of holding.
Val, do you have it?
The what now?
The notice we would need to try to get
that would be in the bag, which I have now. Yeah. So I
Okay.
would yoink that out and hand that to you. I guess before you walk up, how are we? Are we coming with you? Are we hiding on the side? Are we like trying to do this all as one, or?
I would assume so. I'm planning on just presenting myself as like a noble or something, and y'all are my comrades, and we should all be allowed
So we'll
entry.
kind of be around, but we'll like hang back a little bit and kind of like try to stay like innocuous.
I think Fetch would take up more of a like bodyguard style, you know, like hovering about 3 feet back into the left, very
Yes,
specifically
that's
keeping that
perfect.
distance.
Stone faced.
Yeah, well, can't really see his face, so it's just, you know,
Oh, great. Even better.
because he's got the full, you know, mask that, or the scarf, because you know what. So the only thing they could really see is his eyes, just kind of staring with intent.
So you would now have the notice from the hotel and I guess an entourage kind of hanging out in the back. So.
Okay, perfect. And I'm gonna just walk right up to the guard in the middle, whoever is closest to the gate, and attempt entry.
Okay. So at first, like the guard who's closest to you has his back to you, and he's kind of chatting with his comrades, and he hears you before, and he sees like the guard that he's talking to kind of like look over his shoulder and watch you approach, and you can kind of just hear a sigh that kind of echoes from the metal faceplate that they wear. It's like, how many times do we have to tell you we're not going to open the Madame, I'm sorry, what are you doing on this side of the gate?
Well, I would be on the other side if you would allow me entrance. Wouldn't I?
What is your name, dear lady? And he kind of like bows very respectfully, but it's very swift and curt kind of bow with his left hand extended outward and his right hand to his chest. But immediately after he climbs out of it, he begins to circle you and kind of look you over.
Of what importance is my name?
Well, you must understand, if we are to open this gate, we are putting the entire city at risk. Surely the riffraff will storm the gate, and then the guard will be in a very difficult position where we will have to subdue those who wish to put themselves where they do not belong. So, if you could tell me your name and prove that you should be on the other side of the gate, I will happily open it. But if I am not satisfied that this is not some ruse, then I will have to keep the gate closed.
My name is Leon, and I am a good friend of the mistress who owns the hotel. Friend, and I snap. Tell them the name of the hotel.
Hold on, let me see notes.
Man.
Starlight Hotel. Starlight Hotel.
You see, it's been many years since I've seen her, so the name tends to escape me, but I am to visit her. My friends and I would like entry, please.
Roll a deception check at advantage, because you are dressed very well. And well, do you show them the paper?
Not yet, no.
I hope
Not
it
yet?
doesn't have
Okay.
anybody's name on it. I don't even remember.
Roll a deception check at just roll a flat deception check then.
Oof. Not great.
Ooh.
Come on, Rolo.
His eyes begin to narrow, and he says, "It sounds like you're very close." And you detect a hint of sarcasm in his voice. Tell me, how could you come by such a pretty gown? And he kind of runs his gloved finger over your
Fetch.
shoulder.
Fetch reaches out to grab his wrist. Do not touch the lady.
I'm just gonna walk over. Yes, excuse my friend. We've been contracted to escort the lady here. I'm a traveling priest, and these are two guards.
At this point, like, three other guards have there are four guards that are hanging back by the gate, and they all have their hands on their rapiers.
This is gonna go poorly.
Two of which have like their rifles. They're not trained on you yet.
This is gonna go poorly.
You hear the dual kind of click of the hammer as they go back, and three more guards kind of close in a little bit.
I'm gonna saunter off to the side and hide really quickly, just in case.
Okay.
You can't hide. You have the notes.
Oh
Yep.
shit!
Don't
You're
you?
right. Yeah.
It's like-
Fuck.
Yes.
He kind of-
I would
he-
like to present it to them.
Yeah.
No, I
So
gave it to
the-
you. I gave it to you when you walked up.
Oh, you gave it to me.
Yeah.
So the guard kind of rests his hand away from you, Fetch, and he is just locked eye to eye with you. Not looking away, he kind of says, "Madam, if you do not have proof of your station and your place beyond the gate, I will be forced to arrest you and your companions and send you to the oubliette beneath the Crucible building." And he kind of returns his attention to you. "Present it at once."
Okay, and I
Oh,
Oops.
okay. And I'm
I'm
just gonna say,
presenting the note, and we
Okay.
actually stayed at the hotel recently, and this is
oh,
from the mistress herself.
Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion check at advantage.
yeah. I'll wait to see how this works.
Okay. Hold, please. Rolling.
Sweating.
His insight check was a 16.
Wow.
So He kind of looks over the note and he says, I recognize this as Madame Gustave's hand. You and your fellows are free to go, but Madame Leon,
Yes.
I would advise you to stay away from the more wild elements of the city. Surely you can find a way to amuse yourself in a way that is less disruptive to me and my men. And he hands you back, he folds the note perfectly as it was whenever you handed it to him, and he hands it back to you. And he motions for the guards to open the small gate that is kind of built into the left quarter of the left bottom quarter of the gate. It's like a small door that is unlatched, and you are allowed to pass through.
Okay, I thank him and tell him I'll be sure to keep that in mind. And we all
Keeping up his appearance as a bodyguard, Fetch will be first to the door but last through it, as a, escorting everyone through. Sure that if there are any of the rabble that do decide to make a break for it, he will join the guards to help.
Someone does
stop
try. Someone does try. There is a woman who, whenever she was kind of like watching the commotion from afar, and she's wearing this big billowing ball gown that is like the bottom train of it is just caked with mud and shit and like I like to call it street smoothie, which is the funk that you see on Bourbon Street. It's just yeah. It's
I can
just like
smell
all
it.
that. Yeah. I can smell it too. Ugh, and I'm eating whenever I said that. And I kind of wish that I wasn't. But she lifts up her skirt, and you can see that her legs look like sticks, and she's barefoot, and she is, and one of the guards like
before the guards can put hands on her, Fetch will point at her and just shout with the enhancement of the command spell, halt, at her.
Okay.
So,
I'm not even gonna roll because she's a commoner, and yeah, and she stops dead in her tracks. That does not stop one of the guards from straight up like football tackling her to the ground.
Oh,
And they stop her, and you watch as they clap her in irons behind her back, and they drag her away, kicking and screaming into what looks like it's like a side door that goes into the wall. And as soon as the door slams closed behind her, it's almost as if all sound just stops.
Val will kind of elbow Fetch. Hey, good one, hero. I bet you that one felt great, huh?
there is a little bit of annoyance on his face, but it is not at all directed at Val right now.
Yeah.
It is very much at the fact that she had stopped, and they decided to go after her anyway.
Yep. Well,
But
just like
there's only so much he can control, and he knows that this is something he'll have to come back and rectify later.
there's a story there. You can feel it.
Yep.
Something's going on. Because this is the third time I think that you've seen the guards interact with the populace, and they don't let anything slide. So I would say that you guys are now past the gate, and you are on a boulevard where you come up to, and you are currently standing at a three-way intersection where to your left is the Palace of Ether. No, wait, hold on. There are so many palaces in this freaking town. Yeah, it is the Palace of Ether's Park to your left, and there is the Musel building to the right, that kind of office space that is there. You do see that there are a pair of what look like two boys in their late teens, maybe 18, 19 years old, and they are sparring with rapiers on the street corner here. And they are kind of like doing some banter back and forth. They're almost like doing kind of like a street performance. And they're talking about how one of them is going to challenge the great Armand Veloce de Athos. And I'll say that as you kind of like take in the spectacle around you, it's like you've entered a different world since you crossed over that portcullis. I'll let you guys react to the spectacle in a second, but I just wanted to reiterate that the cobblestones here are, they're broken in some places, but for the most part, well maintained. The buildings are beautifully upkept. With the, you can still see here and there pockets of garbage kind of tucked away in the abbeys. The Palace of Ethers Park looks like at one point it was a building that burned. Now that you're kind of closer to it, from this angle, you can clearly see that at one time it was a building that had very obviously burned down, and it had just been left to overgrow everything. Okay, go sit on the bed, buddy. And you gotta be quiet. So, now that you've kind of taken all that in, what would you like to do?
Well, looking at the kids doing their little street performance, like when you see kids, like how old are they roughly?
Late teens, you said?
Late teens, 18, 19, maybe.
Okay.
The youngest one maybe 17 years old.
So not that much younger than.
No. Young, very much like young adults.
Yeah. So Fetch will walk up and just kind of admire their form, even though it's probably not spectacular, but
it's not spectacular. Bad. But the older one is definitely, he's got some skill. They're obviously trained, but the younger one, who is probably 17, 18 years old, he's very good. He's anticipating moves well before they happen. You can tell that the kid's got some potential. Sit.
And kind of sticking a little bit more to that same voice he just decided to use on the guards. Perhaps you can stand up to great Holdir Diente late. Holdir Dien. However you would say that in German. But just kind of, rubbing the side of his face, not so much his jaw, just appraising them, but not really interfering or anything like that. Just saying that loud enough for them to get a little something in their head.
Are you trying to encourage them or throw them off?
Encourage them and perhaps plant the seed of a name that is just another one of the stupid names that he comes up with for himself.
Oh.
Which is Holder at the end. Which is...
Does that go get the duck in German?
Yes.
This is a bit that I love.
Look, it's just going to happen.
Some people build their characters around tragic backstories. They build their characters around, builds. Go show mom.
I mean, I built mine around a tragic backstory that also happens to give him a very specific quirk.
Yeah. He found one of my students gave me a picture of they drew the Elmo meme with fire behind him, and the text says, "What do you mean Rocco's just a rock?" And he read it and he started shrieking because it's funny. Anyway, so they kind of go back. They look confused for a second. The older one kind of looks at you and kind of like holds his arm out and like, "Dude, why are you interrupting our performance? Like, we're trying to make some money here." And then as soon as you kind of like go away, that's my dinner, dude. Go sit down. They resume their little sparring match. And then as you kind of walk away, they quit the rehearsed, at least the younger one, he kind of quits the rehearsed portion of the show, and he actually disarms his opponent, and you kind of see that the older kid is very much upset by this. But he says, "It looks like I've won the honor of challenging Armand the Athos. You can stay here. I'm going to go challenge a legend."
And knowing that Armand Diathos is the one who almost killed the man earlier, that's gonna kind of set Fetch off, and there's anyone from the group who's paying attention to him will notice the very significant change in demeanor from, okay, that's cool, to, oh my god, this kid is about to get himself killed. So Fetch looks a little bit worried over at everyone else, like, we have to help now.
Yeah.
So what do you guys do?
Just gonna approach the kid like, why don't you think this through before you get yourself killed? You don't look all that. Look like you don't stand much of a chance, if I'm being blunt.
You don't look like you stand much of a chance either, Drow. You look a little too skinny and a little too flabby in some spots.
What? I'm a tiefling.
He kind of just does that teenager thing where he shakes his head and goes, "Whatever."
And then I'm just gonna say, I'm placing here. It's quite rude to urinate yourself in public.
Oh my god! You are
Why is-
bullying this child.
Why is that your go-to command? Why?
It's funny.
Because it's making children pee themselves in public. That's funny.
Look, he's 17 or
Yes.
18. He's effectively an adult in.
Technically, okay,
It
fine.
just insult me too, so
Is he?
Kids.
Exactly.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to roll some saving throws and pull up the kid's stats. You monster.
You really about to fight some kids? Is this a good idea, y'all?
Man, kids. Jeez. This is Twitch. If you're watching, this is what we get up to. This is what we do at the D&D table. All right. So it's command, right?
Yep.
Wisdom save. Let's go.
Okay.
He rolled a 4, so he pees himself in public.
Right.
Congratulations.
If you're just that scared of me saying that, you don't stand a chance against what you're about to go up.
Oh my god. I'm not even going to make you roll persuasion or intimidation because he immediately runs away. On the verge of tears. Like the amount of shame that he feels at this point has destroyed him. And he just runs off back to where he goes, and then the other kid is like, "What did you say to him?"
Do I
As a
tell
parent.
you?
What did you say to my brother?
He just told the truth.
The truth can be harsh sometimes. But I did it to save his life. He'll remember that once he calms down. And never call a tiefling a drow.
He kind of shakes his head and runs off after his brother. And he goes, Bernard!
And dropping the performative voice, guys, I think we might need to cut this off. If there's so many people who are gonna end up getting themselves killed, this is a distraction. Yes, it's something that might keep the guards occupied. But at the same time, I don't like the idea of people running off to get themselves killed.
We save who we can for now. There's still a lot about this place we don't know, and we still don't know who's orchestrating here.
But if
Yeah,
we can
you know
take
what?
we can take out Armand, one that could give us a little bit of money, a little bit of cover, and if suddenly someone is, one of the distractions of the city is gone, maybe that'll make the guards, throw off whatever they're doing. and it'll make it easier for us to get around town.
You know what? If it doesn't take us all day and, you really think it'll help, Fetch, then I'm all for it, on the one condition that I can have his coin purse after it's all said and done.
You can have half of it.
But mine got stolen earlier. I still need to, replace...
You can have the pouch and half of what's in it.
Oh, man.
Look,
When did you start thinking about the details? Come on, man.
I get his wallet, takes the money, gives him the wallet.
All right, fine. That's fair. Hopefully it's more than 40 gold.
Yeah. So I guess Fetch is going to put himself on the line for all these people he has no fucking clue about and probably actually hates, but at the same time, it's like he promised to make a name for himself. It's very close to the sea, so you know what? Good enough for him.
I've been trying to railroad him into the fucking main
and,
story for long enough.
He does feel kind of
I'll let
bad
him
for
go off and
taking
do
everyone
dumb
off
shit for a bit.
the main path, but at the same time, this is like the second time he's seen someone almost die. So, to something he feels like he has the power to prevent.
Yeah, this same guy
easily
came up
by
in
just
one of our
beating this
earlier
guy.
sessions too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, as long as you know that this is optional.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Side quests. Let's go. We're gonna we gotta clear all the side quests on the map.
I know. The thing that I love about having a campaign that is in a single city is that I can just set up mouse traps all over the place.
Yeah.
And just wherever you guys go, whatever you decide to do is how the story shakes out. So it just is hilarious to me that the first mouse trap that you trip is the absolute last one that I expected you guys to. But anyway,
No.
let's go check out the museum real quick. Let's not worry about getting back home.
Whoops! Now you're Lords of the Sea. Oopsie.
Now you're Lords of the Sea. Now you have sworn devotion to an ancient eldritch being.
Yep.
Oh no!
It's gonna work when we leave.
Surely this won't have lasting consequences.
Surely it won't.
Hello.
Okay, so let me move you guys to the Palace of Aether's Park. So, like I said earlier, it looks like the place is entirely overgrown, and it used to be a building of some kind, but it is overgrown completely. You can kind of see, and you guys are kind of here. You can see very clearly where there used to be the facade of a building. You can very clearly see the plants that were left here, that were planted here intentionally, and you can very clearly see the weeds that are popping up kind of all over the place. Let me do something real quick where I can get your... I hate that it's not doing your HP bars anymore.
Yeah, mine's been stuck at 23 for a while, even though we've had like a level up and stuff.
Well, so here's the thing, is that you can set it to an attribute that is on your character sheet, but it doesn't stay. And whenever I try to go in and do it, it doesn't work. It like wigs out. So here's what I'm going to do real quick. I'm going to ask you guys, just tell me what your... Fetch your AC... I mean, your HP max is 47, right?
yes. And
what is your...
currently 17.
17. Okay. Okay. There we go. Touchstone, what is your HP max?
42.
42. Okay, and you guys should be at 42. Okay, Honesty, you are at 33, I believe.
Yes.
I don't know why it saved on the previous thing. And Val, you're at 28, right?
I am, yes.
Okay. Now your HP bars should be good to go. Okay. So you can see the entirety of the map, but you don't know where Armand is currently located. So I'm going to let you guys kind of mill around.
Well, so what's the deal here? Is this guy like a threat that we should all be concerned about, or are you trying to just waltz in there and play the hero, show him what's what?
Well, I guess we should figure out why he's. But at the same time, I do kind of want to just get this over with as quickly as possible, so we get up to the university and actually, get you guys out of here. But and then Fetch just kind of turns around, maybe not quite mid sentence, but he doesn't wait very long after that last one to just kind of walk over, and this wall looks like it might be walkable, just to stand up on it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
get a look around.
Okay. It's very grown over. This tower that you see here is taller than the point that you're currently standing on top of. So are all the trees that are around you. The only structure that you can really see into is this area right here. And it looks like a tower that was, or a round building of some kind that may have been a storehouse, because you can see like the remnants of old crates and barrels, sacks of grain where the labels have long faded and the contents have long rotted away. Make a perception check for me, please.
As poor as that is, let's go for it.
12. That's pretty much all you can make out. There's a lot of rubble everywhere. There's a lot of broken, charred wood and debris and masonry that has just kind of fallen over and succumbed to time.
Consternation. So I guess, does anyone else want to take a look with me, or am I just gonna kind of, be doing this on my own and, step forward and
I'll
kind of.
come with you.
Okay. Hold on one second. So you guys actually walk through what used to be the threshold of this place. But the doors have fallen off their hinges. You can't see the exterior of them because they're on the ground. But the backs of them are completely charred black. Whenever you step on them, it almost sounds like breaking glass from it's just so crystallized from the heat that experienced during the fire. Let's do this. The three of you who are in the park, honestly, are you with them or are you just hanging out at the entrance?
Just hanging out. I'm not
Okay.
particularly interested in this.
Yeah. The three of you who are in the park, go ahead and make a perception check, and let's see who notices what.
Okay. Wow.
Okay, Val, you begin to smell smoke, and you begin to feel a distant heat. And you also can smell the unmistakable stench of. You've only smelled this once before. This happened during the siege of Amphail. Whenever you watched one of the barbarians that was attacking the town, you watched him essentially be burned to death in the building and the fire that was set by Mavith and her compadres. And he ran towards you, and there was this sickening but also kind of not unpleasant smell of cooking flesh and burning hair, and that also is kind of mixed in with that. And with the 22, you also begin to hear distant screams. And with a 22, I will say that you are not surprised by the ghostly creature that suddenly appears before you. It appears to be a person that is wreathed in flame. And unfortunately, Fetch is going to be surprised. And so is and definitely Touchstone. Let's roll some initiative.
Oh yay.
Oh, yay.
All right.
I
The
can't ever do
undead?
anything. I can't ever do anything simple. I just can't. It's like a problem. Honestly, I will say that you don't know anything is amiss.
Oh, okay. I'm just
Not
like, la
yet.
la la la.
Yeah, you're just kind of twiddling your thumbs on the outside, but unless someone calls for help, you have no idea. Oh,
Okay.
why is the eel still on there? Let me turn down the music a little bit. It's a little oppressive.
The eel followed us all this way.
The eel
no.
followed us. It was in your pocket the whole time. Actually, I think you guys did take it with you, didn't you? After you killed it.
Yeah, I sliced it in half and thought it might be a good meal. I don't know. You know, we couldn't really cook it underwater, and now it sort of seems like a waste. It's just gonna rot in the bag of holding or something, turn into eel sludge.
Okay, Touchstone. It is your turn.
Let's see. I'm gonna assume these are undead creatures.
That's a healthy. That's a healthy assessment.
Okay, well, in that case, I am going to channel my divinity to turn the undead.
Okay, you present your holy symbol. Each undead you can see or hear within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. What is your DC?
It is 16.
Okay. Any turned creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you.
And also, since I'm 5th level, it's upgraded to destroy undead.
Destroy undead. What's the CR that it destroys?
Yep, if they fail it, it will immediately...
No. What is the CR that it destroys?
Oh, it is... Let me double check.
Because I think it's like, is it a half CR?
Yes.
Half challenge rating? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Your DC is what?
16.
16. Okay. None of them rolled a 16. If the creature fails the saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute. A target creature must spend its turns trying to move. Okay. So, Val, what do you do? Well, actually, hold on. Before we move on to your turn, let's do this. Touchstone, what does your turn undead effect look like?
Imagine like this like little silvery light appearing over each one of them, and it's kind of like trying to radiate them, and just forcing them to flee. Or if they get destroyed, they just kind of poof.
Okay. So they all kind of, at one time, they put their hands to their head, and their faces are in anguish. Like, the amount of pain that comes off of their face looks excruciating. But there's also now a mix of fear and horror. And on their turn is whenever they're going to start moving away. But Val, you don't really know what's going on. So what would you like to do?
So you're basically saying, like, I stepped into this little area here, which it looks like it's like a burned down sort of foyer. Right?
Actually, hold up.
What up?
I completely disregarded what I said at the outset of this. I'm so sorry. I was eating a cucumber and not really paying attention. Touchstone, you are surprised. So your turn is going to come up later. So they are not currently turned.
Okay.
So it is actually, we should have started with Val's turn, and then we go through the initiative order. Honestly, I'm going to take you off the block, but we'll put you at 9 whenever you are alerted that there is, in fact, trouble.
Okay.
So sorry for the confusion, and so sorry for the Twitch people if you were shouting at the top of your lungs about surprise round. So, Val, sorry for the confusion. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
Sure, yeah. So basically, I mean, what Val would do is sort of skewed a little bit, I think, because of the way you sort of described me coming into this, right? So you're saying I sort of walked up into this sort of like busted down sort of foyer, right?
Right.
And as I sort of came into the spot where I'm at right now, I had like a bit of a vision. I saw like I smelled the smoke, and I saw
you
like.
You didn't really see a vision. More like your other senses kind of put you in where the fire had happened. So yeah,
Okay.
you had a sensory vision of what occurred.
And then you said like shortly after that is when these sort of wraiths or these specters appeared.
Yes.
I guess my first instinct would be like when this thing appeared, did it just sort of like appear in front of me? Did it swipe at me? Did it swoop at me? Or did it just kind of stand there and look at me?
So you saw it, like you knew that something was up. So that is kind of what's going to happen to Fetch and Touchstone. But because you spotted something was kind of manifesting in the air in front of you, you are able to react. So you are not surprised, which is why you are currently taking your turn.
I see. So okay. So you're basically okay. I was just trying to understand if there was like a narrative reason that I should not engage with these things, or if it was just like mechanics that you were describing.
As far as you know, a very malicious-looking ghost that is on fire, that is reaching for you, has appeared in front of you.
Got it. Okay.
That is the situation. So
Perfect.
what would you like to do?
I'll go with a swipe. We'll say I fucking see it appear. I panic a little bit. I'm not thinking 100% straight, so I just go straight for the attack.
Okay.
With my +1 dagger. 27 to hit. Nice. Ooh,
27 will hit. Damn. Yes.
Almost.
Okay, so 6. That will be 6 piercing damage.
A little bit of a dude. And then I will bonus action disengage and fall back to Fetch.
Okay. So right whenever Fetch is aware of the situation is whenever the specters that are near him and Touchstone begin their attack. So... Sorry, yeah, it's gone. Okay, so Touchstone, the specter is going to reach out and it is going to attempt to grab hold of you.
Okay.
That is a 13 to hit, which I do not believe will hit.
Oop.
And against Fetch, that is an 18 to hit.
18 does hit.
Okay. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please. So okay. So you take 9 points of necrotic damage, and you feel you see these kind of white, purplish spectral flames kind of lunge from the creature and wash over you. It feels cold at first. So cold that eventually it feels like, a blinding white heat. And you take those 9 points of necrotic damage, and you kind of feel it almost try to suck the life force from you, but you manage to pull away before it manages to make that connection. And it is back up to... Wait a minute. Val is on the board twice. Go away.
Oh, am I? I only see me once now.
You were you were on there twice. Okay, and now
I don't see me on there at all now, basically.
Oh.
I saw myself on there once, and then you deleted me. Now I don't see it anymore.
Oh no, the thing that was on there was from the previous encounter. Shit. Okay, hold on. Let me do this, because I think what I did is that I had it fucked up. So hold on. Let me just do this. God damn. Okay, that was weird. All right. Now we're at the bottom of the initiative order, and then we will be out of the surprise round. 6? Yeah, I know. 6. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm just not paying attention less than
You're
I
at
usually
14
do.
now.
You're at 14 now. Let's just go with it. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm normally not this sloppy. All right. So the specter is going to run up behind you and it's going to attempt
There's
to
like
grab a hold
nobody.
of you.
It's no pressure. It's not that serious.
Yeah. That is a 15 to hit. Does that hit you, Val?
15 just hits me. Yeah.
Okay. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, if you please. Ooh.
That's not great.
You take 12 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, dang.
Oh.
And because you failed the Constitution saving throw, your hit point maximum is reduced by 12.
Yo, what?
Ooh.
That's why the undead are such a pain.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, the DC was 10. So
Next level, you'll be able to add 5-star saves.
okay. So we are now back at the top of the round. And wait, what's going on? There we go. So we're now back at the top of the round, and it is Touchstone's turn. So what would you like to do, Touchstone? I think I know what you want to do.
Yeah, I'll just do what I did before. Turn the unholy. Or the undead.
Wisdom saves.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And your DC is what? One more time? 16?
60.
Yeah. That's a natural 1. That is a 15 on the dice, and they do not have a modifier for wisdom. And a 12. All of them go running on their turn, but we still have characters to go through. So is there anything else that you would like to do on your turn?
I believe actions. I think that. Oh wait, can you hear me?
Lost you for a second.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's it for my turn.
Okay. Val, what would you like to do? You feel as if a part of you has been ripped from your body, but you're whole. Everything is there. You don't have any physical burns, but you feel like your bones are on fire.
Give me one sec. I am going to hold my ground and take another swipe at the one in front of me. Seven piercing damage. Then I'm going to actually, you know what? She can heal. I'm gonna bonus action disengage and run towards fucking honesty.
Okay. So you can, I think your speed is 25.
Yeah.
So you can make it to about here. So what do you say to honesty?
Oh, you're getting attacked by spirits. I'm hurting really badly. Help.
Point of order, you don't need to disengage, but
What do you mean?
again, if they are frightened by turn undead, they cannot take reactions.
If they cannot take well, does it say they can't? No, they have to use they're consumed with running away from everything, so you don't have to disengage.
Oh, okay. Well, I will just say that Val is not as aware of.
Okay.
Well, let me see if I can. No, yeah, go with that. I'll change it up next time if need be.
Yeah. You do like hoo ha hoo, and then you dash, run away from something that's not trying to attack you. And then what do you say to honesty?
Oh, we're getting attacked by spirits, and I think I'm dying. Help.
And I'm just like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And
roll initiative.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay. Just in case something happens. Okay. This spirit is going to essentially run away. And you see it just passes through everything. And as it kind of makes it to the fence, it just disappears. This guy right here does the same thing.
Just out of.
Oops.
Nope.
Well, actually, it does hit.
But
Is it a
Now,
regular
if
long
you do that, he'll stop running.
You already rolled it. But no, he has
until
resistance.
it takes a new.
Yeah.
So
as it's
like I said, fetch is not exactly smart. So you know what?
Oh.
And it's undead, and
So is that a magic longsword?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. So it only takes 4 points of damage. So as it turns to run, and you kind of reflexively, because you've been doing this for a long time, you know that whenever the bad guys run away, that's the time to hit them. And the sword passes through the creature, and you can see that it damages it slightly, but it stops in its tracks, and then it turns around and looks at you dead in the eye.
Okay. Now we're going to actually make. Does Divine Favor turn the weapon attack magical? Like, I would assume it does, but
I don't think so. Let me see. Divine Favor.
like, it doesn't say that it does.
I don't think it does.
Okay.
Your prayer and power, the spell ends, your weapon attacks steal an extra. No. If it made your weapon attacks magical, it would say that. So,
all right.
Like sacred.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way, gonna cast Divine Favor so I can actually do some undeterred damage to it.
Okay.
Step forward and give it an old Snicker Snack.
Snicker Snack.
Boom.
27 will hit.
5 points. And you know what? Screw it, because we're Paladin. Let's go ahead and add that Divine Smite to it. And since it's dead, there's 8.
You have attack, don't you? Oh, you're just adding the Divine Smite.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, how does your Divine Smite end this creature's life?
Well, in the before time, it would have been a kind of the image of just like your standard Greek statue just appearing in yellow light. But now it looks more like maybe Davy Jones a little bit. Little sailor's outfit, just kind of driving a trident down from the heavens into this ghostly figure.
Got it. It's a really crunchy pickle. I'm going to put it back for now. Okay. Very good. This guy is going to run in a straight line through Val. And honestly, you watch as this creature passes through him. And it's this kind of burned skeleton-looking creature that just like screams as it approaches you and disappears as it touches the gate. Let me double check something. Incorporeal movement, sunlight sensitivity. Nah, it's not going to hurt you, Val. It's just really scary.
Val freaks the fuck out for a second and just
Kind of like
I am also
collapses.
freaked out. I'm like,
He just sort
oh
of
my
collapses
god.
on this bed of moss right here. He's like, why? Why is it always me?
Everybody okay?
No.
I don't think
Val
Val is not okay.
Val is definitely not okay. Like, his skin is gray, his skin is sunken in, his face is his eyes are sunken. He looks almost skeletal.
My heart feels funny. My heart feels strange.
I'm
Oh, Val.
going to be very confused. Can I roll a medicine check to look at that?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean,
Wow.
is that even necessary? Without thinking, I just want to give him some healing light.
Yeah. I
He
mean,
looks like
what
he's
to do
hanging
then?
on by a thread.
So you heal. There doesn't appear to be any injuries on him. So go ahead and expend 1 usage of your healing light. Is that 1 or 2?
Oh, I was gonna do 2.
Okay.
Can I do
So
2?
you can expend however many you want at one time.
Okay.
So you expend 2 uses of it, or 2 dice from your pool, and his condition does not appear to improve.
Oh my god. Okay, touchdown. Do your thing.
I'm gonna kill the scary battle music real quick because
This
you guys
is
are out of combat right now.
odd. I've never seen anything like this.
You can roll a religion check.
Okay. And please, Lune.
Okay. You would know from that religion check that there's a category of vengeful spirits who die painful, horrifying, frightful deaths that desire to live again and to cease their suffering so intensely that they're able to suck the life out of the living in order to alleviate their pain, but only temporarily. And I would say with a 17, you would know that recovery from such an attack is possible, but it takes time rather than magic in order for that to work. How much time, I wouldn't exactly say with a 17, because I've already given you your 2 pieces of information.
Okay. Well, the good news is you just need to get some rest, and you should go back to normal. So
Should.
All right. Well, I'm gonna just take a nap on this little bed of moss here, and while you guys fight your weird
what do you mean
rapier
shouldn't
guy.
nap here?
Well, you guys still have a fight to do, right? That's the whole reason we came here.
It's very comfortable.
Yeah, this stuff feels kind of nice.
I can
It's
stay
hard to
back
breathe
with
right now. I'm
Val
just
if
gonna
y'all
hang
want to
out for a
keep
bit, all
going.
right? You guys find this asshole and I guess scream real loud if you need me. I'll start lobbing crossbow bolts from a bush or
What's
something,
the point
okay?
to rescue if those ghosts come back?
I'm staying behind with Val. So if y'all still want to do this, go right ahead.
If you're going to do this, I can at least give you some shelter.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, we're gonna be like at most like 30 to 50 feet away. Like it's not.
Oh, okay.
We're not like leaving the map. I'm saying that I'm gonna stay right here and just like chill and let you guys role play the encounter with the rapier guy or whatever.
Okay.
If that's even a thing.
Yeah, if he's even here, right? Like I say, I'm just
True.
letting it play out for a bit. You guys.
Well, just scream if anything happens.
Thumbs up.
I'm gonna just walk over and join Fetch. So it'll be the 2 of us for this.
Don't really want to risk running more of those, so. Guess if he's a famous duelist. And Fetch kind of straightens himself out a little bit and just shouts out, Armand, show yourself. Don't send these things after me. I'm here for you. One-on-one.
Make a persuasion check. Okay. You hear nothing at first, but you do see something before you hear something. Whoever this guy is, he walks with a cat-like agility, completely silent. And you see him kind of emerge from, you see the shadow of him before you see his profile. But he emerges from this tower up here until he is standing, and you can see as he approaches you, he is wearing he's a tall, very pale, human-looking man, and you can kind of see that he is wearing all black, kind of a black duelist attire where he has leather pauldrons kind of like on his left side. At his he has a kind of half cloak that is kind of covering the left side of his body that is covered by the pauldron, and he is wearing a very large, kind of wide-brimmed tricorn hat that is shading his face, but you can tell in the shadow he is very pale. And for a while he just stands there kind of looking at you, and he is the first one to break the silence, and he says, "I did not send them, but I can tell that you are a man of character. Why do you disturb me here?"
Because a lot of people have been deciding that they want to kill themselves by coming in here. And I intend to put a stop to that.
A noble spirit. That's good. And how exactly do you intend to stop them from coming to meet their deaths here?
Well, if they have to get a new legend to chase, I guess they'll have to chase me instead.
You seek to challenge me.
If I have to do it to end this, then yes.
Well, very well. However, it will be on my terms. You see, I've wasted far too much time and far too much blood on the has-beens and the frauds who have come to seek their glory at the edge of my blade. If you can figure out what is causing these malignant spirits to haunt this place and put a stop to it, lay them to rest, I will happily not only accept your challenge, but I will teach you what I know. You see, that's why I'm here. I'm hoping to pass on some knowledge before I make my final exit. Do you accept this test? Because if not, I have some brooding to do.
Brooding is not healthy. But I'd rather not have to kill you. But if put something else that's dangerous out of the way.
Can more than one person take on this challenge?
Well,
I'll allow that. After all, I'm most concerned with seeing these poor souls put to rest.
I'm a man of the cloth myself. I have a duty to help them pass on.
Well, then it must be fate that you are here. And I'm glad. And he kind of gives a very, he puts his right hand to his chest right above his heart, and he kind of nods slightly to you, giving a little salute.
Give him one back.
What is your name, Knight?
and then kind of catching himself, knowing that saying his name might be a stupid thing, even to someone who seems like this. Hold Holdier Diente.
Make a deception check.
Holdier Diente, whatever it might be.
What a strange name. But anyway.
But kind of looks around for a second, leans in a little closer. It's Fetch D. Millar, but I don't tell anyone else, okay? Okay.
You're interesting. I think I like you. It'll be a shame if you don't succeed. Anyway, he kind of points with a gloved hand over to this tower here, and he says, that is where the specters have been coming from, I think. After all, I've scoured this place numerous times and have yet to find their remains, so I'm sure that they are somewhere down there. I have no desire to go back to that place.
And it's the one in the center, right?
Yeah, this guy right here.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I'm not
seeing the ping.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the ping on my end, but I'm seeing it on
Oh,
the
wait. Yeah. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The reason why you weren't seeing it is because I was in the GM layer.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So I think they've been coming from over there. Got it. Well, it might take a little bit of time. I think my friend over there is a little, but he's a little, not himself, right? So he might take a little bit of time, let him recover. So
Take all the time you need. If you're able to accomplish the task and return alive, then that'll tell me that you are strong of body and character enough to endure my teaching, perhaps. Because I can be a rather harsh teacher.
Oh, you have no idea the kind of stuff I've had to put up with.
I have no intention of interjecting or anything, but just out of curiosity, from this distance, can I hear this conversation going on? I'm still conscious. I'm just chilling. I'm just laying down.
You can see him, this guy. You have clear line of sight of him. Make a perception check to see if you can listen in on what they're saying. Because you're kind of a little bit far away. I would say with the 16, you can catch the gist of their conversation.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to know if I'm aware of the out of character. I'm just really interested in the fact that this seems like the most cognizant and cohesive person we've come across thus far. So that intrigues me a bit. But beyond that, I'm not gonna do anything here.
So, in the meantime, just try not to kill anyone if you can avoid it. Maybe just punch them in the face instead of cutting their throat.
He kind of crosses his arms in a very melancholy way. And, the lower part of his face is kind of heavily obscured. He's got a scarf that kind of covers.
We're twinsies right now, so.
Yeah. You're twinsies right now, but he also has the hat, but he kind of looks at you and you can see that he kind of stares at you, kind of rolling his eyes a little bit. And he says, I've been telling people to leave and come back whenever they actually have some actual skill to show me. But if they draw their blade upon me, I'm compelled by honor to answer.
So as long as the blade is in their hand. Okay, got it. Just kind of. Hey, Touchstone, let's take a little bit to recover. I'm a little tired.
Of course.
Quick breather. So.
You go on ahead. I guess while we're just talking, so I think just to make this quick, if we could find one of their remains and perhaps a skull, we may be able to speak with it and see what's binding them here. Those type of specters only really appear when they have some regret in life they can't let go of. So this may be a little challenging.
Right, well, I'm not so good at fighting ghosts. I like things that I can stick my blade in. These things just sort of run through me and make me feel like I'm dying.
Well, that's why we're here.
Hey, let me ask you guys. I couldn't help but notice that guy seemed remarkably normal compared to everyone else we had here. Did anybody else notice that? I only caught the gist, but I don't know, he didn't seem as spacey or flamboyant as a lot of the people we've met.
You have a point.
Wow.
I guess after doing what he's done for so long, he's mellowed out.
It might be the fact that he hasn't been so long. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just something to keep in mind. Maybe we help him out, and I don't know, we can gain something in return. I know you guys are mostly here to help people, which gung ho, go for it. But I don't know. It's maybe he knows something we don't. I mean, I'm sure he does, but you know what I mean.
I mean, you guys don't have a timeline on this. You can go find out more about him and then choose whether or not you want to commit to what he's asking you to do. Mostly because we only have about 12 minutes of this session left.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. There's been much faffing.
That's good. I like roleplay sessions.
Yep.
I do too.
So, yeah. Val, we need to make sure that you're fine. So I think maybe we should try and get back to the hotel and sleep it off. Maybe
Should we go to the hotel right now?
I don't think that we should. I don't think we should go
Well,
anywhere near that place.
We
I
can
mean,
camp. We
sorry,
can
go
camp
ahead.
here for the night. Oh no, you're fine. We can camp here for the night. I can ensure with.
I mean, I to be quite honest, I don't think we would have too many problems going back to the hotel. The only one who really let their name loose was Fetch, and I mean,
The staff did know we were with Fetch, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes businesses stay in business because they don't cooperate. Know what I mean? They cooperate on the
We don't
surface,
know
but
these
then
people that well, though. Too. I don't think we should risk it.
you can't. I don't think we could camp here because the guards are. I don't think they like vagrants. So
yeah, something tells me that sleeping out in the open might be a little bit more risky in a place like this. Especially, do you remember what happens after dark in this place?
They wouldn't be able to see us.
The werewolves, Touchstone, the werewolves.
I know they won't be able to hurt us.
What do you mean they won't be able to hurt us? They take over the city at night. They murder everything that moves.
Remember, I protect the night with the aid of my goddess. Just leave it to me.
you don't always have to be so cryptic. Sometimes you could just say what you want to. What you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm really not all that convinced. I think it might be a little bit of a concern to go up against the guards, but I much prefer the 20th floor of a well-guarded hotel than out in the middle of a fucking park whenever there's a huge threat every single night.
I want your 12-step plan for single-handedly defending your 3 compadres from an onslaught of werewolves throughout the night.
If you'll remember, I am in a lot of pain right now. I can't really do all that much.
Aware. You know that thing I do where I hold up my symbol and you all get healed?
Yeah.
Honestly, if that's the concern, I can stay up with you.
We won't need to stay up. But let's just say I could do an upgraded version of that while we sleep.
That's still way too cryptic. Just say it. What does this upgraded version of whatever you're doing do? I'm not a smart man.
I'll make a barrier for us to sleep in. I'd imagine.
Okay, out of character. Are you talking about fucking tiny hut?
Yeah.
Isn't that like super
and
conspicuous though?
Concern for it's opaque, so they won't see it unless they really look for it.
Yeah, they won't see it unless they look for it.
Okay.
It's just a giant, bubble that is being beaten on by a whole bunch of werewolves.
That is terrifying. That is. I would prefer the hotel, please. Because I really don't want, me as a person, I think I'm going to have a panic attack narrating how that works. That is scary.
Well,
let's do it. Let's do it. If that's what you guys really want to do, then let's do it. But...
No, it's not what
No, yeah, Val is not loving this plan.
Well,
Touchstone, as much as I like you, as much as I trust you, I think and this is coming from me, a very not smart man. That is the stupidest idea I've ever heard.
You need to have faith in Selune.
What? No.
That sounds like a job for you. I'm going back to the hotel.
Yeah, you can keep your faith, holy man. I put more stock in walls and barricades. Okay. When it comes to things that I can't see, I can't stab. I think I'll count on the things that I know will protect me. Look,
Well, of
okay.
all of you, I'm sure I'm the safest. So it's whatever y'all want to do at this point. I'm just saying we are fugitives. Do
Yeah.
we really want to go back there? There specifically.
Well, I mean, to be completely blunt, I mean, I did intimidate the lady at the desk, so maybe word didn't get out too far. And even if it did, worst case scenario, we get run off from the hotel. We go sleep
excellent.
underwater for another night. It's fine. It's right next to the coast. We'll be fine.
While we were walking through here, did we find a newspaper? Well, on our trek here, I should say.
I actually hold on.
You would
my
need to like
internet
tweak a
has
couple
gone-
articles on that though, because
Oh,
of the way
yeah.
things changed.
Well, you can just tell us to change, but we know what it says mostly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we do have an advantage because they were looking for a party of 5.
Ooh, dang.
That is
Oh,
true, even though
That's an out of character thought, not an in
Yeah,
character
yeah,
thought.
yeah.
it
Yeah, my
hurts.
internet has failed. So we're just gonna have to theater of the mind this until we get to the cutoff point. So you guys are going back to the hotel?
Yeah, like I say, I think both out of character and in character, Val's mind is like, if it goes sideways, we can always come up with a plan B, but as it stands, I think it's the safest option. And
Yeah,
I think
because
Fetch is with me, but Touchstone and Harmony or Honesty are still on the edge, sounds like.
I guess I don't think it's wise to split up, but
Sounds like it's 2.5 to 1.5. So, since Honesty is kind of torn between the two options, I think the 2.5
Well,
is
I'm
larger than
very
1.5.
well disguised. I'm concerned about y'all because
I've
if it comes
completely
down,
changed my shit
I
up.
don't know y'all.
Yeah, and I mean, with the change in attitude, Fetch is walking very differently than he was before. He's got a fancy, not fancy, but he's got a new face covering. You know, he's gonna trust himself with that one.
Also, Val has a big motivation in the fact that we have already paid for these rooms. Or this room. We've paid for this already. We can't just shice ourselves out of fucking 20 gold.
we are enemies of the state.
Look, I got my coin purse lifted, all right? We need to take advantage of every piece of gold we can.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, if y'all get found out, I'm pretending I don't know you guys, and that's just gonna be it.
Same,
Yeah.
actually. Same.
Entirely fair enough, because it's supposed to be a party of 5 with little goblin in it, and because they think
you guys don't know that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the opportunity to react to that
while
in
we
character
walk
because I
to the
swear I'm gonna go
hotel-
back to that place and fucking pistol whip that lady.
While we walk back to the hotel, I'm
Fuck you
gonna try
calling
to
a
look
goblin?
at the newspaper.
I'll show you, Goblin. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Touchstone, what'd you say?
While we walk back, I'll try to find a newspaper and see if they've covered the situation.
Okay. You do find that newspaper article. I don't have access to Roll20 right now because my internet has failed me. However,
I have no idea if that helps.
Yeah. Not much has changed. The only thing that I changed was the number of guards that were killed. It went up from 2 to 3. They're still offering and they got it out remarkably quick. I mean, it's a daily newspaper, so yeah. They're offering a bounty of 50 ducats for each of you, so up to 250 gold. Okay. So if someone brings all 5 of you in, well, they don't know that Epine is dead. So if someone brings all 5 of you in, they would get up to 250 gold, which you kind of get the impression is a lot of money for this place.
Well, if that's the case, we just need to get 8 werewolf pelts. And
Good luck.
8 werewolf pelts because it will offer, in exchange, some prestige on top of the money.
Yep.
So, which of course would be more valuable than the money.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think you can disguise the rest of us, can you?
I cannot.
Not yet.
Your hair and put
mean, if you
makeup
have
on.
If you have a disguise kit, then technically you can.
Oh yeah, you could.
Yep.
I was thinking of like seeming, but that's not until later.
Yeah, but it is
I
8
can't like
so
drastically change your appearance, but I can like cosmetically change
Yeah.
y'all.
like blonde hair to whatever else would probably be the biggest way to hide it, because honestly, the most detailed description is the lantern jawed blonde. So, like,
So we'll fast forward ahead because I want to end this session and I want to just like leave it with this so that you guys can see what your escapades have warranted. So you go back to the hotel, and the doorman recognizes you for the most part. He kind of has been waiting for you, and he just kind of tips his hat to you and motions you inside. And you get back probably about 2 hours before curfew. You make it to your room with little fuss, and you guys kind of do, and we'll begin the session with you guys kind of bedding down for the night. But I'll fast forward ahead to where you guys get in the morning. Your breakfast is delivered, which you paid for, and on the tray, the trolley. It's all right. I'll describe it whenever we come back. But the important thing is that you get a copy of that newspaper. And the story, the top story, particularly the area where it describes the assailants who murdered the 3 guards while they robbed the museum, is circled in bright red ink.
Oh.
And you see in the margin immediately next to that story, and I have this made up in a PDF that I would give you if Roll20 was working. But the note in the margin in a beautiful, elegant hand says, "Please see the attached invoice. Payment in full is due to the front desk by the close of business this evening." And you see that there is an invoice that is attached to this for 250 gold pieces that is listed as a special services fee. And there is another charge for 125 gold pieces for a convenience fee. So all told, there's invoices asking you for 375 gold pieces that you all have gathered is essentially to keep your identity and your staying here a secret.
And I cut my eyes at Val, and that's it.
And that's it. That's where we end.
That's it for me.
Fade to black
All right,
on
I'll
the
take that.
fade to black on black on the 375.
Yes, fade to black on the 375. You guys got bills to pay now. All right. Thank you guys for such a great session. I know that it was a little wonky whenever we lost a player and that we've kind of had to be a little railroady to get things back on track last game, but I like the way that things are going now. So hopefully you guys did too. So if we still have people who are watching on Twitch, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I never intended for us to be streaming this game at all, but if you're having fun, that's great. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. We're back on our normal rotation.
All
So if you guys have any thoughts that you would like to share in the Discord, please do so.
Could you
And
drop
I love you.
I'm sorry. Could you drop that updated one on Discord?
Well, yeah, once I get my internet back, I will put it in the Discord.
Okay.
Because right now I'm just functioning on data. So I will drop the relevant things once I get internet back, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. I love y'all. Hope you had fun. If you have any thoughts or things that you liked or things that you didn't like, please let me know over Discord.
Alrighty. Y'all have a
All
great
right, good night, you guys.
Good night. See you guys
ya.
later.
See ya.
All right, guys.
All right, that was a great time as always. Gilded Sins, everyone. It's our newest campaign with this group. We've been going together for quite a long time. This game has been a lot of fun so far. We're still pretty early in, I think. Nick, our DM, said that this is session 7 or 8 or something, I think, total that we've done, though this is only the second ever streamed session. So you guys missed a little bit of the intro and the setup, you know, so sorry about that. I wasn't sure that I was going to do this, but then I decided it would be a good idea to, I don't know, to have recordings for posterity later on. I'll probably download these just so we can have them. Let's see. Next D&D session is going to be 2 weeks from today on June 25th. Same time, 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central. In the meantime, there's going to be Final Fantasy raids on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and either Fridays or Saturdays, depending, and alternating Sundays. So, yeah, a bit of content here and there if you guys are interested, but that's a wrap for today. Thanks for joining. Hope you had a good time. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Oh wait, actually, hold on. I'll do a little shameless raid. Oh, can I do that? Let's see who's live. Send you guys to another channel. Just for the free stats. Oh look, Marissa's playing. We'll send you guys to Marissa. There's another friend of ours, friend of the channel, friend of mine, who is also streaming. Trying to get a bit of, let's see, how do I actually do this? I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to raid people. Where's the fucking raid button? Hold on, let's see. Let's do following, we'll do my channel. / raid. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then I can do this. One of these. There you go. Alright, thanks for joining. Join them if you want. Oh, wait, I think they just ended. Oh, well, fuck it. Too late. There you go. Have fun. Till next time. See you around.
I was not prepared for this. I literally just... Lizard Wizard in a blizzard. I literally just stopped playing Zelda. Because it's in a stream. Let us always remember abusive exes do incredibly embarrassing things to themselves.